Also had a couple of key additions, one specifically that you even know and remember against playing against.
Oh, yeah, Devin Hatfield. He was at Logan my freshman year. I mean, his freshman year when I was a senior, and he can shoot the crap out of the ball. Then he was more of a spot-up shooter, but, I mean, I've seen he's been putting up crazy numbers, so he's probably developed a lot more since then. I'm excited to get to watch him play.
Yeah, I was going to say we saw what he did the last couple of games against Winfield and against Nicholas County, putting up 29 points in each of those contests. That's going to be a big thing for Chapmanville tonight to try and get out and defend on him and shut him down.
Oh, yeah. Even back when I was playing against Hoover a few years ago, they always were tough and physical. And I'm excited to see if Chapman will come out and match their physicality and speed right away.
Well, we're going to step aside for a 2-minute break, and we'll be back after this, talk a little bit more about tonight's matchup between Herbert Hoover and Chapmanville as you're listening to and watching Chapmanville Tiger basketball with us right here on WVOW, West Virginia's premier sports radio station, and live on Video Productions. Okay, we out, Joe.
To Total Savings starts here. Thornhill GM Superstore. Find new roads to 119 in Chapmanville, your hometown full-service Buick, Chevy, GMC dealer. We are professional grade and community strong. Expect the best and save thousands with Thornhill.
Accidents, illness, heart attacks, strokes. When an emergency strikes, count on Logan Regional Medical Center. We're here providing emergency care 24/7. Including the higher levels of emergency heart care found in our accredited chest pain center, and our enhanced cleaning, mask requirements, and social distancing to help keep you safe. Emergency care at Logan Regional Medical Center. When minutes matter, count on us.
Always here for you, Thornhill GM Superstore. Expect the best. Get even more with our new Thornhill Value Plus warranty. 10 years, 150,000-mile limited powertrain warranty on most all vehicles. Get in on all the savings. Follow us on Facebook, Instagram, and ThornhillGMSuperstore.com.
Peyton, what are we doing here?
Welcome to Peytonville. Nationwide helps protect everything you see in here, Brad. Every family, every business, even Mrs. Hoffman's dream of retiring to become a yoga instructor.
Oh, they have backstories.
Here, I got more to show you.
Kinzel Law Office is a local firm located at 36 Adams Street in Chapmanville. Rob Kinzel has been practicing law in Logan County for over 15 years and is dedicated to providing quality legal representation for personal injury, criminal defense, and family law for individuals and families throughout southern West Virginia. Call Kinzel Law Office today to set up your free consultation. Rob Kinzel, quality legal services close to home.
on the Huskies of Herbert Hoover. Let's meet the starting 5 for the Huskies. Number 3, Devin Hatfield. Number 5, Jack Copenhaver.
Alongside me, Devin Collins, Caleb Kitchen, our engineer back in the WVOW studios, with Joe Mounts, our engineer on video productions, and Daniel Miller, our camera operator, as well here on video productions. And Devin, player introductions underway right now, so that leads us into our Logan Regional Medical Center keys to the game. And for Chapmanville taking on a tough squad like Herbert Hoover at 7-1, what do they got to do tonight to try and come out here with an upset win?
They got to forget about how that last game ended. They got to come out and play with energy, and they got to match Hoover's physicality right away. They can't fall off. They can't start out slow. They got to come out right away playing good.
And I was going to say, you guys didn't face a whole lot of defeats during your time at Chapmanville, but the times that you guys did, what were those next days like, and what was the intensity like when you guys came back for the next game?
It wasn't too good in practice the next day, I know that much, but, you know, we came out with fire under us the next game for sure. We didn't want to lose back-to-back.
I still remember after the Logan loss last year, I know you weren't a part of the team at that point, but nevertheless, I saw that intensity against Polka the next time they came roaring out of the gates against the Dots in that game. And so I can imagine that you guys definitely had a different focus.
Oh, yeah, that's for sure. That's how it works. You want to come back the next game even better, for sure.
Well, those are your Logan Regional Medical Center keys to the game, and the key to your health care is with Logan Regional Medical Center, offering care for every stage of life from the Women's Center to pediatrics and primary care physicians. Logan Regional Medical Center, always here for you. Well, the starting lineups for both sides. For Chapmanville, it'll be 6'1" junior Colton Craddock, 5'11" sophomore Devin Workman, 6'1" sophomore Isaiah Smith, 6'6" freshman Zion Blevins, and 6'5" sophomore Brody Dalton. As Herbert Hoover will have the ball first, we'll catch you up on their starting lineup in just a moment. As Trevor Rager has the ball on the right wing, swings it out, left side, 3 on the way for Hatfield, and right away there it is, Devin, a 3 for Hatfield.
That's a big shot early for him to get going for sure. Hopefully they can limit that from now on.
And again, he got free just for a moment. He's got that quick release, and he ends up burying it. Him and Robertson are going to be the big ones to try and defend for Chapmanville here tonight. They were 10 of 15 from 3 in that win over Nicholas County. As Workman gives it over near side for Smith. Now into the corner for Craddock. Craddock, nice taste baseline, but double team. Now back out to Workman. They swing it over left side for Smith. Smith back to Workman. Again, 3-0 early stages of the first quarter for Hoover. Smith looks left corner for Blevins. Blevins back up top for Workman. Now to Craddock at the top of the key. Back over to Workman. Now to Brody Dalton in the left corner as Chapmanville probing the defense right now as they try and set it up near side. Now back up top for Craddock. Chapmanville working the ball still around the perimeter. Can't find an opening. Now they get one down low for Blevins. Tried to force it back out. Tipped away. Ball loose down low. Blevins gets it back. Tries to go back up, and he's bumped on the way to the basket as Chapmanville will draw the foul.
Hoover in a 3-2 zone early. That's probably because they know three-point shooting isn't one of Chapmanville's strengths, so they're probably going to let them start shooting threes early, see if they're start hitting shots.
Yeah, and I was going to say, this is different defense than Chapmanville's seen thus far this year. You don't see teams play it too often. They go down low to Dalton, tries to go up, is blocked, gets it back on the left block, and Brody Dalton follows it back in.
Yeah, you don't see too many teams in that 3-2 zone, but that's good for Hoover.
And again, as you said, it is to try and prevent that outside shooting from getting going. And I think they realize as well they've got the size on Chapmanville down low. As over on the far side, Workman battling with Hatfield, knocks it out of bounds. It'll be last touched by Workman rather. So now Hoover has the ball, 3-2 lead as Rager will trigger it in from the far side. Hoover going left or right to left across your computer screen and radio dial. Chapmanville left to right. Nice take here by Hatfield. Gets all the way in on the right side, and he'll lay it in. And he's just got such a quick first step, able to get away from the defender, and Chapmanville's going to have their difficulties guarding him head up here tonight. As Workman swings it back over left side, now into the corner for Dalton. Again, Chapmanville going to stay patient against this extended defense. Now into the right corner, Dalton bobbles it, gets it back, dribbles back up top. Now to Workman, he'll take a 3 from that spot, no good. Crashing the boards is Smith though, and he'll go back up and lay it in. And right there, Chapmanville's going to have to do work on the boards here tonight in order to hang with this Herbert Hoover club as they get it over right corner. Jumper on the way, off the mark for Trey Chapman, and rebounded by Dalton. Now Chapmanville looking to take their first lead of the game. Smith, he's deadly from the outside. Can't hit this time, though, and rebounded by Chapman.
One way to get that zone quick is start hitting threes. So Chapmanville starts hitting a few shots. Look for Hoover to get out of that zone.
Hatfield now drives in, cut off by Workman. Gives it over to Chapman, now at the top of the key, as it'll be Rager looking down low. He'll take it himself, and he'll be fouled on the way to the basket. He'll go in for 2 shots as that one missed off the side of the rim as they get Craddock on the push. But yeah, I was going to say, Chapmanville probably does want to try and get into their offense a little bit quicker so they can't get their defense set, and I really liked what they did on that last possession. And Smith, even though he missed, I do like the shot from him there.
Yeah, it's very hard to match up in his zone on a fast break, so look for Chapmanville to get out and push the ball quick off misses.
Now the free throw by Rager is good. As Rager, he had 12 against Nicholas County in the last game, had 13 earlier this year against Midland Trail. He looks to push this back to a 3-point lead for the Huskies. Can't convert on the second free throw and rebounded by Dalton. Now here comes Chapmanville trailing by 2, 5:13 to go in the first quarter. Workman at the top of the key gives it over to Craddock. Craddock back out front for Smith, now to Blevins. Blevins swings it over to the right side. Now they go down low on the left block for Dalton. Dalton tries to throw it back out front. It's tipped and taken away by Hatfield. Here he comes in transition, gets by Workman, tried to throw it into the corner. Nice hands, though, by Craddock. And that's something Chapmanville's done well this year. They've been very quick and very scrappy on defense.
Yep, that's good to see him get back quickly off a turnover as well.
Yeah, I was going to say they're going to have to against this speedy club from Herbert Hoover. As they inbound it down low, they get it into Hatfield. Had it poked away by Workman, but gets it back. Hatfield tries to drive back in, cut off by Craddock. Now back out for Rager. His 3 from the left wing is no good and rebounded by Dalton. Now here comes Chapmanville, trailing by 2. Get it over to Smith on the right wing, top of the key. They swing it around. Now to Dalton in the left corner. Now top of the key for Workman. Now I love the patience by Chapmanville against this defense right now. And honestly, if you're Chapmanville, you don't mind shortening the game a little bit against a club this strong.
For sure, against a team averaging that many points, you don't want to get in a running match with them.
As Dalton puts it up from the corner, no good, but there's Blevins on the rebound. His putback no good, and a nice save underneath by Hatfield. But again, a couple of good looks there for Chapmanville. They're starting to find some holes here and there in this defense. Now here's Hatfield up against Workman, able to penetrate by him. His shot rejected, but it goes right into the hands of Chapman. Swings it over left side, jumper on the way for Copenhaver. His shot off the mark and rebounded by the Tigers. So they push it up quickly. Dalton up top. Now to Craddock. Stutter steps into the lane. Nice
Great
dish
pass.
for Blevins.
Great pass.
Blevins able to finish, but that right there, great look by Colton Craddock. As you said, Devin, a great pass. And you love the unselfishness there. He got the defense to draw towards him, saw Blevins had the opening, and dished it off to the right spot.
That's one thing you want to do when you're going against the zone is try to attack the middle. And you see right there, Colton got right in the middle and dished it off because the defense had to step over and help.
I was going to say West Virginia could have probably used that a little bit against Syracuse the other day.
Oh, yeah.
So now here comes Herbert Hoover back up the floor. We're all even at 6 apiece here in the first quarter. Up top, nice defense by Smith up against a 5-second count, but they're able to get it away over to Copenhaver.
Great defense.
Oh, and a great steal, as you said, Devin, right to Devin Workman, and he gives Chapmanville the lead.
Chapmanville's going to take advantage of that this game because they don't want to fall back in that zone and have a slow, paced-out game.
And he's been doing a great job the last few games as Devin Workman, the sophomore, on both ends of the floor. He's been looking for his shot a little bit more, and he's also tuned it up on defense. As now Chapmanville has taken an 8-6 lead. 3 on the way from the right side. In and out, no good for Robertson, but we get a whistle underneath, and this is going to go against Hoover, and this is going to be against the big man, Trey Chapman. And Chapmanville doing a good job of their staying patient and also extending Herbert Hoover out, taking a lot of contested threes right now.
And they've also kept the bigger Hoover team off the glass as well, and they haven't gave up any offensive rebounds yet.
And I think that's something that Brad Napper probably wanted to do coming into this game, knowing that they were a little outsized, sending everyone to the boards. Crash, get second chances. So now here comes Chapmanville across the timeline, having an 8-6 lead here in the first quarter. Again, that 3-2 zone still in effect for the Huskies as they get it left corner for Dalton, back up top, now to Craddock. Craddock swings it over to Smith as they head over and shade him on the right wing. Chapmanville moving the ball around quickly as they get it to Workman. Now to Dalton. Pump fakes on a 3. Gets by Chapman. Takes a short jumper from the left side, and Brody Dalton converts. And that's an area of his game that has improved so much this year, is that mid-range jumper. He was able to hit it last year, but he's shooting it with a lot more confidence as we get a foul and a push out front. And again, you as a big man as well, Devin, you have that touch from the outside. You hit that big growth spurt. How did that kind of affect your shooting ability whenever you had that happen, or did it at all?
Well, growing up, I was always a guard, and just hitting that growing spurt, I still had guard skills, and it didn't really affect my shot much. One thing that affects your shot is really just gaining strength, and you have to really adjust to that.
Thankfully, I never had much of that problem, strength or height-wise. Yeah, I can imagine that would just throw everything off. So, I mean, it's just a different look at the rim whenever it happens. So, I mean, just great job by you, great job by Dalton being able to adjust to that. As on the other end, a shot missed by Hoover and knocked out of bounds. So it'll go to Chapmanville as Hoover struggling from the field here in the first quarter. They average 67.8 points per game, give up 56.3, but right now Chapmanville holding them down as Isaiah Fleming into the game. 10-6 lead for Chapmanville as Smith pump fakes a three, gives it back out to Craddock, and out is Fleming. He's not shy. He'll take the three, no good. Rebounded by Blevins, though, as they'll get it back out front. Now back over to Fleming. And he had 8 threes against Mingo Central and had 25 points in that contest.
Oh, yeah. We can all see what happens when he gets hot early.
Yeah, I was going to say, he is someone that once he gets into a rhythm, he's tough to stop. So he does try and find it again. He struggled in the first half of that game, but kept firing away. And I think he definitely has the green light from Brad Napper as Smith fakes a three, now gives it over to Craddock. 1:29 to go in the first quarter. Now to Dalton. He'll take a three, but it's blocked by Rager. Nice job of contesting by him. Over to the Huskies. Baseball pass from Hatfield. Up ahead to Rager. He's rejected by Blevins. And that kid continues to develop every game. He's got great ball skills, great instincts, Devin.
Oh, yeah, he's got a lot better since first game. He's just improved more and more throughout the year, helping this team out.
Now he'll check out in favor of Hunter Jeffrey in this spot with 1:19 to go in the first quarter. And again, Blevins saved 2 on that trip. Now they get it out to Hatfield. Nice pump fake. He gets a wide open 3, and Hatfield able to can it. And again, he's got 8 of the 9 points for Herbert Hoover here in the first quarter as the lead now for Chapmanville shrinks to 1. And now we are down to 1 minute to go in the first quarter of play. Over to Craddock. Bounce pass down low to Jeffrey. Puts it on the floor. Goes up. Can't finish. Rebound, though, comes to Brody Dalton. And Chapmanville continues to dominate on the glass.
Chapmanville's been on most of Chapmanville's points that came from offensive rebounds.
And that's something that you didn't see a whole lot of the other night against Scott. Again, Scott really dominated the glass the other night. Chapmanville turning the tables here, and now they get a tie-up on the other end, and that's going to go over to Chapmanville. This defense is really applying a lot of pressure on Hoover.
That's just from what you mentioned earlier. Coming off a loss, you're going to see a lot of high-energy plays out here.
And now it'll be Fleming to inbound from the near side. 42 seconds to go in the first quarter, and the Tigers lead at 12-9. So we'll see if they try and hold for one here as Brad Napper tells his club to pull it back out. Craddock down to 32 seconds, gets it over for Smith. Now back to Craddock. Craddock fakes, goes over near side. Fleming, he'll put up the 3 from the left side, and Fleming connects. And again, he is not shy or bashful, and that is what Brad Napper loves to see. If he gets going, this could be a big night for Chapmanville. 15-9 in favor of the Tigers, down to 10 seconds left in the quarter. They go down low, setting up the big man, Frank Early. He goes to the left side, can't finish, but there's Rager on the putback. He can't finish, gets it back again, goes up, and third time won't be a charm as the first quarter comes to an end. This Chapmanville club, with a bit of a surprise after 8 minutes, leads it 15-9. We'll be back in 60 seconds as you're listening to and watching Tiger basketball right here on WVOW, West Virginia's premier sports radio station, and live on Video Productions. Good quarter, man.
General Stores knows West Virginia, but what some may not know is what LG is doing in your communities. And I'm here to tell you how Little General, with the strength of their 100+ stores, is helping to enrich lives and empower families in West Virginia. Like the Norma May Huggins Cancer Research Endowment Fund, which is fighting to cure cancer every day right here in West Virginia. Locally owned and operated, LG has always been there and always will be. Little General Stores, committed to West Virginians. Boom!
No regrets.
If only she parked in a garage. If only they had the chimney cleaned. If only they had Erie Insurance. Erie is seriously good insurance that treats you fairly and goes above and beyond to make you feel like your auto or home mishap never happened. At rates that'll save you as much as the other guys. So get a quote from Erie today. Because whatever your regrets in life, your insurance company shouldn't be one of them.
15-9 Chapmanville as we start quarter number 2. Chris Kidd and Devin Collins here with you. And Devin, what did you see in the first quarter from the Tigers that allowed them to win that first 8 minutes?
Just seeing Chapmanville match Hoover's energy, if not have more energy. And I was shocked to see Chapmanville out-rebound Hoover on the glass. As you see, Hoover's got some big bodies out there, and You know, Chapmanville a little bit smaller, but they outworked them on the glass for sure.
Now let's see if that first quarter woke Hoover up a little bit. Again, Hatfield had 8 of the 9 points. The rest of the Huskies really struggling from the field thus far as Copenhaver gets it out to early, pass inside. Nice cut, but a great block by Craddock, but they get him on the foul. Didn't see a lot there, but I guess we didn't see the contact from behind.
That was a close call for sure.
And that draws a sarcastic cheer from the Hoover section. And I tell you what, we were here for the JV game. They were on fire.
Oh, yeah, they were. They were loud for sure.
I looked at you at one point. I was like, this is a JV game. Come on. But obviously, if they're your kids, you're going to be pumped about it.
Oh, yeah.
So now it'll be Rager at the free throw line. His first attempt off the mark, no good. Lord knows that Crystal Collins and James Collins, I mean, whether it was JV or not, I know that they were common
they
composed.
were into the game for sure.
Now checking back into the game, or checking in for the first time, will be Dylan Paxton for Herbert Hoover. And I said Crystal and James are listening at the house. I know Crystal's rolling her eyes at me right now.
Hey, even the freshman ball games were crazy sometimes.
I would have loved to have been there for those. As Rager can't hit either free throw. He's 1 of 4 from the line now. As Chapmanville controls the rebound, they lead it by 6. 7:30 to go here in the first half. Now pressure picking up here from Hoover as they've switched to man-to-man after Chapmanville more or less shot him out of that 3-2 zone. Now they get it to Smith on the left wing. Smith to Blevins in the left corner. And he's got the quickness on early, but early's got the size, so we'll see how that matchup develops. So they get it over to Workman. He'll get it to Fleming on the left side, back up top. Dangerous pass. Rager went for the steal, but came up empty. That sets up Smith. 3, no good, and rebounded by Early. Now they work it up quickly as Paxton into the front court. Now Hoover trying to push the pace a lot more than they did in the first quarter as they get it to Robertson. And Robertson's the other gunner on this team with Hatfield, but he's yet to put any points up. So he drives in on the left side, can't finish on the layup, and rebounded by Dalton. Now they get it over to Fleming on the left wing. 15-9, Chapmanville leads it. 6:38 left in the first half. Workman gets the play call from Coach Napper. Nice give and go to Blevins. A lot of contact at the rim.
Oh, a charge.
Oh, and they get the charge, and it takes away what could have been an N1 attempt as Brad Napper talking about it with the official.
Neither side happy with the refs. Start this game, it sounds like.
And I tell you what, they got Brad Napper fired up now.
That's not the first time.
I was going to say, normally calm and composed over there.
Oh, yeah, always.
And now here comes Chapmanville back on the defensive end as they get it over on the right side, and there's a steal by Fleming. In a foot race with Rager to the rim, takes it to the right side, and a great job by Fleming using that right side of the rim to shield away a block attempt from Rager. Now quickly comes Hatfield back the other way, pauses, steps back for 3, no good. Rebounded by Dalton and a foul underneath, and right now you can sense frustration on this Herbert Hoover club.
Oh, yeah, and Chapmanville's just using their speed straight up. They're more speedy than Hoover, so they're in full court press, trying to force turnovers, get easy buckets.
And Chapmanville's adjusted to both styles of play thus far very well. Again, you saw it more in a slow-down mode in the first quarter. Now Hoover trying to up the intensity in the second, and Chapmanville's matching it thus far. 17-9, Tigers lead it, 6 minutes to go in the second. Dalton on the right corner. We get a whistle and a foul on number 20, Rager.
Just look for Chapmanville to get more pick and rolls with Early here. Try to get number 2 on the roll.
Yeah, I was going to say, I think they see that they've got a little bit of
here
quickness.
It comes.
Yeah, they do set it up again. That time not quite there, but Smith takes it as he got the step, can't finish. Rebound fought for, knocked out of bounds, and nice job by Blevins contesting. So it'll stay with Chapmanville, and a good catch there on what they were doing with Early. Again, they see Early's got the size, but they do feel like they can get him in that pick and roll and find some freedom underneath.
Yeah, you're going to see that a lot throughout the game for sure.
Now they get it up top for Workman. Now to Dalton. Nice pump fake. Gets by Rager. Pull-up jumper in the lane. Too strong, and rebounded underneath, taken away by Robertson. Now here come the Huskies trying to cut into this 8-point lead of Chapmanville with 5:31 to go in the half. Fleming all over Robertson at the top of the key, trying to shake free of him, still can't. Forces up a wild shot, no good. Rebound knocked around, and Dalton chases it down. So he's able to get the ball away from Paxton, who was trying to get a tie-up. Now here comes Smith, over left side. Fleming contested 3, ooh, in and out, no good. But again, Fleming with a little heat check there to see if it would go down. And now the intensity on defensive side is really amped up as Rager able to get by his man, gets it over to Hatfield. Hatfield pump fakes, can't find any real estate free, gives it to Rager, and Rager takes another tough shot. And again, every possession a tough shot for Hoover.
Chapmanville's really limited Hoover's tough. I mean, every shot Hoover's had has been a tough contested shot, and that's how Chapmanville's going to win this game. They're going to have to box out and get the rebounds too.
17-9 Chapmanville, 4:38 left in the first half as they go up top. Now to Blevins. Again, this is a Hoover team that averages nearly 70 points a game. They've got 9 thus far. Smith over to Workman on the right wing. Drives in, puts up the left-handed floater. Counted and the foul for Devin Workman. And you could see he felt like he had the advantage there, Devin, on the speed. Again, Devin and Devin here are going to try and separate it. But, again, he's doing a much better job. He seemed really timid in the first couple of games to take his shot. But it seems like now, again, he's been working with even some of you guys and some like even Andrew Scholl, and he's been a lot more productive looking for his shot.
And that's what Chapmanville needs. Chapmanville needs that, second or third score to really step up if they're going to make it run come tournament time.
Workman off on the free throw attempt, but rebounded by Hoover. 19-9, Chapmanville now leads it. Up top for Hatfield. Again, he's the only one with a field goal in this game, and he won't get one this time as a charge on Devin Hatfield. And great defense again by Chapmanville. But boy, oh boy, you look at the shooting anywhere else but Devin Hatfield right now. It is just a desert.
They have 1 point. I'm pretty sure everybody else has 1 point.
Yeah, Rager hit one of his 4 free throw attempts, and other than that, everyone else has been as dry as the Sahara thus far.
It seems like they're very frustrated.
Yeah, I was going to say, they definitely seem very irritated right now that they are in a battle with this Chapmanville club, and there's Blevins right there. We saw it again, able to try and get by early, and he draws the foul. He'll go to the line.
All they're doing is really getting early into screens, because if they switch, they'll have a mismatch with the guard, and they feel like the speed difference for sure is just making a difference in this game so far.
That'll be the 7th team foul against Herbert Hoover. Chapmanville will be in the penalty the rest of the half as Blevins misses on the first. But now's a key moment for Chapmanville to try and get some separation here while Herbert Hoover's struggling, as Blevins does hit the second. So he's got 3 now. He had 10 the other night in the loss against Scott. That's the 3rd time he's been in double figures, and now a timeout going to have to be called by Herbert Hoover as they couldn't get the ball in bounds. And they'll burn a 30-second timeout with exactly 4 minutes to go here in the first half and a 20-9 Chapmanville lead. Well, just a reminder, this game brought to you in part by Nationwide Insurance agent Greg Dalton, who is a proud supporter of Chapmanville Regional Athletics in the community of Logan County. For auto, home, life, and business insurance, call the Greg Dalton Agency at 304-855-4906. Greg Dalton Insurance with offices on Main Street in Chapmanville and Main Street in Logan. For all your sides, there is Nationwide. This is WDOW Logan, and for anyone having any hearing difficulties, they're definitely making sure you can hear the music here in Dan Gobby Gymnasium tonight. Lord almighty.
That might need to turn it up a little bit.
I'll tell you what, Devin, though, sometimes when you get in these games where you didn't expect it to maybe be as contested as it is, that can really start to wear on you, and it seems like it's doing that to Hoover right now.
Oh, yeah, we had many games like that where we came out slow.
Right now, they've dug themselves an 11-point hole, and it's just been Chapmanville outplaying Herbert Hoover thus far in this contest. As they bring it up the left side is Robertson. As we said, he had 21 against Nicholas County, but hasn't been able to get anything to go tonight. Now to Chapman, back out to Robertson. He'll drive left baseline, cut off by Blevins. Nice look to Early. He goes up with a left-handed hook, no good. Rebound tipped up, taken back by Paxton. It's knocked away from him, loose in the corner, and taken there by Fleming. And now Dalton able to rip it away from Paxton as he tried to tie him up again. But once again, this Chapmanville defense just rallying to the ball as Dalton stutter steps, drives in. What a fake! Goes up on the right side and puts it in. Tell you what, just the ability to stop with that pivot foot on a dime by Brody Dalton, and the lead has swelled to 13. Now here's Robertson, drives in, gets into the paint, puts up a floater, can't get it to go. Rebound knocked away by Early. Loose underneath, given to Chapman. He'll go up on the left side. Nice job by him, able to shield away from Blevins.
And that's the first bucket by another Hoover player.
Again, you're right. That is the first field goal from anyone not named Devin Hatfield in this game for the Huskies. Chapmanville leads it by 11 with 2:48 to go in the half. Out front is Dalton. They get it over to Smith. And again, Smith has 2 points here in this first half. Chapmanville's second leading scorer behind Dalton. Now Dalton with it on the left wing over to Blevins. Blevins back up top, and they're going to get Blevins on a travel.
Another sarcastic cheer from the Hoover crowd.
I was going to say, they've been screaming for a walk almost every time anyone from Chapmanville picks up a dribble.
Every possession.
As I guess the official finally caved, but yeah, I mean, haven't really seen it to be honest with you.
No.
And honestly, right there seemed less than most. But there's Fleming as he comes from behind. He'll poke it away from Robinson and has a steal and a timeout by Brad Napper, a 30-second timeout. So a great response by Chapmanville. After their turnover, Fleming creates one of his own with 2:28 to go in the half. So we'll keep things here with a 30-second timeout, 22-11 Chapmanville. But again, just the intensity on this defensive end has been extraordinary thus far. They're only allowing 51.3 points per game, but they just seem like they've had an extra gear here tonight.
Oh, yeah, for sure. I mean, Hoover, all I can think of is them getting one wide open shot here from the corner. And besides that, they haven't had any open shots, and that's why they've barely got any buckets.
And I said, whenever you're not getting those looks you're used to and your other scorers aren't really getting going into this game, is there any sort of panic that starts to set in at this point in the game?
Probably about in the third quarter. You know, if you're still down 10 points, you're going to start to panic for sure. Right now, they're still trying to find their groove against the Chapmanville defense. They may, but, you know, it gets to that point after a while, you start panicking.
Well, we'll see how they handle the last 2:48 of this half, or excuse me, last 2:28 of this half, as Chapmanville has the ball, leading it by 11. Dalton on the right wing with it, up against Chapman. Has to bring it back out as he lost the dribble for a moment. Now over to Smith at the top of the key. And again, I'm Chapmanville, I'm going to stay patient here.
Oh, yeah.
And Smith, top of the key. Dribble drives in, kicks it out to Trey Butcher. He's into the game for the first time. Now they go down low to Dalton on the right side. Dalton, tough fadeaway off the front iron, no good. Yeah, again, it was on line, but just short. As Hatfield will bring it up the left side, up against Workman. Drives in, is cut off, out to Chapman in the left corner. Drives in on Dalton. Now to Early. Early will take a left elbow jumper, off the mark, no good, and there's Butcher on the boards.
Chapmanville's just doing everything defensively they've been taught and just working to perfection.
I told you, they're just getting it done on the glass, and now we get a foul, looks like, on Hunter Jeffrey up top. Yeah,
to be a good team, you got to limit that kind of stuff for sure. That's just a waste of possession.
Yeah, right there, those are the ones that you mentioned, especially if you're trying to pull an upset that will irritate you on the bench if you're Brad Napper.
Oh, yeah.
It looked like maybe an illegal screen that time. As Paxton will bring it into the front court as we hit the final 90 seconds of the first half. Paxton able to split a double team, gets into the paint. Pull-up jumper is there for Paxton.
Number 12, Neely.
So now it's down to a 9-point game with 1:20 to go in the first half. As Herbert Hoover has found the last 4 points after Chapmanville took a 13-point lead a moment ago. Now Smith off a screen. Back out to Dalton. He'll go for three. No good on the left side, and Early able to box out. Now here come the Huskies up ahead to Chapman. One-on-one with Smith. Has the size. Spins to the right side, and Chapman will put it in.
33.
Don't be shocked to see Chapmanville waste this whole clock right here.
I was going to say, if I'm Chapmanville right now, this is a 6-0 run for Hoover. I want to try and get this to the half with this 3-possession lead if I can. And Hoover trying to pick it up on the defensive end. We get a foul down low, and that's going to be against Chapmanville. And that's going to be against Jeffrey again.
That's another unforced error right there.
So he's picked up 2 quick ones, and they're going to get Isaac Butcher up to the scorer's table immediately. So Butcher, this will be his first action night, a 6'3 junior. Now, I think both occasions just illegal screens set by Jeffrey. And now full court pressure by the Tigers as Paxton looks to get it in. Able to find Chapman at the last moment. Now over to Hatfield as they'll double team him in the backcourt. Smith chases. Now they get it up ahead to Chapman. Oh, Paxton was open immediately underneath, and they find him, and he lays it in.
Now you really want to waste all this clock.
It's an 8-0 run now for Herbert Hoover as they found their sea legs here in the final minutes of the first half. Down to 23 seconds. Again, Chapmanville needs to stay patient on this trip. Up top for Smith, down to 18 seconds. Now to Butcher, back up for Workman. Workman takes it over to the left side with 12 seconds. Up top for Dalton, and yep, he traveled with him. Tell you what, Chapmanville has just gotten very impatient here.
That was a bad final minute for sure. Hopefully they get a stop here.
As you said, again, it's just not been a good last 90 seconds, minute and a half here for Chapmanville as they try and quickly get Fleming into the game for his final 10 seconds.
The final couple minutes of a half can change the game so much, especially momentum going in the second half. I mean, now don't be shocked if Hoover just comes out in the second half with a bunch of momentum.
Yeah, I was going to say, I mean, you have 4 possessions here in the final 2.5 minutes where Chapmanville hasn't gotten a shot off. As they get into Chapman, now to Paxton. He'll get across the timeline with 8 seconds as there's a bump from Workman. And 7.2 seconds left. That'll put Hoover in the 1-1.
That was number 3.
Now Paxton, who has scored 4 thus far in the half. That'll be foul number 2 on Devin Workman. But just like this, Hoover can get this to a one-possession game going into halftime. And again, Herbert Hoover struggling from the field throughout most of this first half. Paxton able to can the first free throw. So he's got 5 points now for the contest. Second free throw on the way here for Paxton. This one rattles around and falls through. So Chapmanville, 7.2 seconds left. Workman will take it. And, boy, another turnover. Chapmanville's just come unglued here in the last 2 minutes.
Just so many unforced errors. Just let Hoover right back into the game.
And that was a double dribble on Devin Workman. And like we said, Chapmanville had the ball with under a minute left and a 7-point lead. And now, all of a sudden, Herbert Hoover could cut this to 1 or have this tied by the end of this possession. As Paxton gets into the backcourt for Hatfield, crosses with 3 seconds. Hatfield tries to get some separation, trying to look. Heaves up a tough 3 off the side of the rim, no good. And that will end the first half of action. But nevertheless, despite an 8-0 run by Hoover at the end of the half, it is Chapmanville in the lead as we head to intermission, 22-19 in favor of the back-to-back champions. You're listening to and watching Chapmanville Tiger basketball action right here on WVOW, West Virginia's premier sports radio station, and live on video productions.
Accidents, illness, heart attacks, strokes. When an emergency strikes, count on Logan Regional Medical Center. We're here providing emergency care 24/7, including the higher levels of emergency heart care found in our accredited chest pain center, and our enhanced cleaning, mask requirements, and social distancing to help keep you safe. Emergency care at Logan Regional Medical Center. When minutes matter, count on us.
Community Strong. We are Thornhill Ford Lincoln, your hometown dealer located on 119 near Chapmanville. Go Thornhill and expect the best with total value, support, and savings on your next vehicle. Don't miss out. Follow us on Facebook, Instagram, and thornhillford.net.
I'm Stuart Caldwell. For more than 40 years, I and my firm have vindicated the rights of individuals hurt by defective drugs, defective chemicals, and other products. Now I'm teaming with Booth to take on the big drug companies to vindicate the rights of children born with NAS. There are significant legal proceedings that could affect you and your child's legal rights.
If you're the parent or guardian of a child who you believe was born dependent on opioids, you need to act now.
Coach Bob Huggins here at your local Little General store. As I travel this great state, it's nice to know that almost anywhere I go, there's a local Little General nearby. So the next time you're on the road, look for the Little General sign and tell them Hugs sent you.
I'm your 70-pound St. Bernard puppy, and my lack of impulse control is about to become your problem.
No, come on. I saw you eating poop earlier.
My focus is on the road, and that's saving me cash with DriveWise.
Always here for you, Thornhill GM Superstore. Expect the best, get even more with our new Thornhill Value Plus warranty. 10 years, 150,000-mile limited powertrain warranty on most all vehicles. Get in on all the savings. Follow us on Facebook, Instagram, and thornhillgmsuperstore.com.
22-19, Chapmanville leading Herbert Hoover here at the half. Chris Kidd and Devin Workman here with you. And Devin, again, we were talking about it during the break. Again, Chapmanville has the lead at the half, but the 10-0 run by Hoover is definitely going to change the tone of that locker room.
Like I was saying with the minute and a half left, don't be shocked if Chapmanville was holding the ball and, it just got out of hand there. 4 or 5 turnovers, unforced errors, and now, look, it's a brand-new ball game.
And again, you see how quickly this Herbert Hoover team can strike. Again, we know how good they are, and we know how tough they've been all season long. Again, they got their bell rung by Chapmanville for about the first 13, 14 minutes of this game, but it looks like they finally came out of the cobwebs there in the final 2.5 minutes, and now we do see how dangerous this club can be.
Even with Hoover being the favorites here, if you're Brad, you're definitely not happy having a 3-point lead at half. That could easily be 13, at least double digits. I'm sure he's not too happy in the locker room right now.
Yeah, and a lot of it was just the turnovers at the end of the half. Again, illegal screens, walks, things of that nature, and obviously we talked about what a young team Chapmanville is, so there's going to be some of those growing pains still, but as you mentioned, this is going to be something that Brad Napper, who is, better than anyone, is a fundamentals coach.
Oh, yeah.
And whenever you're messing up on the fundamentals, that is going to be something that really chaps him.
Yeah, that's definitely going to be something they learn from, because now, Hoover's got all the momentum going in the second half, just down 3.
Well, let's look at the first half scoring on both sides. We'll start with Herbert Hoover as Devin Hatfield leads the way for them with 8 points, followed by Dylan Paxton with 6 points. Then you have Trey Chapman with 4 points and Trevor Rager with 1 point to round out the scoring for the Huskies. On the other end for Chapmanville, they're being led by Brody Dalton with 8 points. Then you have Isaiah Fleming with 5 points, Devin Workman with 4 points, Zion Blevins with 3 points, and Isaiah Smith with 2 points to round out the scoring for Chapmanville. But then also, real quickly, do want to point out the positives as well for Chapmanville. Again, playing great defense in the first half, really crashing the boards well, and making Herbert Hoover take a lot of tough contested shots.
Yeah. They've had so much energy. Sometimes that energy can come back to bite you. Like as you see on offense, they were sometimes too anxious to make a play. I mean, they're just flying around on defense. They're doing a great job, though.
Well, now let's talk a little bit about Marshall University basketball. Again, it's been hard not seeing you out here in a Chapmanville uniform the last couple of years after seeing you for so many years, doing so many great things on those state championship clubs. Tell me, what was the big adjustment going to Marshall University after coming out of Chapmanville? Again, I believe you redshirted your first year, had your freshman year this year. What were some of the differences going from Coach Napper to Coach D'Antoni?
It's just such a big difference, being the big dog here and then going there and, just barely playing and redshirting, that kind of stuff. It just takes time, and we've been working hard, getting ready for next year. Obviously, the season didn't end the way we wanted it to, but just hopefully we're just working so that don't happen again.
Well, what are some of the bonds you've made on the team up there now in Huntington? Because, you got all these different players. You're now with David Early on your team as well. Jared West, who played for Notre Dame here in the state. Or Jared West, excuse me. Well, that's his father, my bad. I remember he played at West Virginia, so, so I still think about that. But, you got all these guys from West Virginia playing in the state. Has it been easier for you guys to kind of come together, considering there is so much proximity with the state there?
Obviously I've always knew, Obina, David, and Jeremy, but I knew of Jared, but, he's just been a great guy to me since I've been there. It sucks that he's leaving. Yeah. But, all them guys, I just love them all, really.
And talk about the season a little bit. Again, you guys still had a winning record this year, had a good season in Conference USA going into the tournament. Obviously, Rice was able to nip you there in the first round of that tournament. But just talk about the season, how you guys were able to develop and grow as the season went along.
Yeah, we had a great year overall. We had a COVID shutdown right in the middle of December, which kind of threw us off a little bit. And then our next 2 games after that were our biggest rival, Western Kentucky. And I really think we should have won the game at Western. We just really sloppy to start, coming off COVID break. And we was up 15 at home against them and then ended up losing that game, which was rough because that's just really big in seeding.
I was going to say, it's a little different going from Logan being your biggest rival. All of a sudden it's Western Kentucky, because you probably didn't quite understand it at first. And there you went, there's like, why Western Kentucky?
Yeah.
Why is it?
And then you go there and play and you understand why. They have NBA prospects coming out like crazy up there, and they're just a really good team.
Well, also, looking towards next year, I said, you guys are still going to have a lot of young talent coming back. This is a young team that you've got up there.
Yeah, we have a very young team now. A couple of seniors left. Just look for us to get more playing time next year. We got a few new guys coming in, maybe even a transfer. I don't know yet, but I'm anxious to see how the season goes for sure.
And am I right? Are you rooming with Obina?
Me, Obina, and David are all roommates. I have my own bedroom, though. They're in another bedroom.
I was about to say, what's it like rooming with Obina, but what's it like rooming with both those guys, at least in close proximity?
I know. We don't hang out too much because, everybody's out doing their own thing away from practice and stuff. But, it's super fun, having them around, have somebody to talk to. And, I've always knew them. I played with David in middle school, and it's just cool hanging out with them guys.
That's what I said, man. It's great that you guys are all together, and it's great having some of that hometown feel there. Easier adjustment to college as well.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
Yes, you have some of your friends there, and I said you guys had a great season. We're looking forward to more as you guys continue to grow together. And right now, Chapmanville hoping that they can come out and assert that dominance they had in the first half. They lead it by 3 here at intermission. We will be back in 2 minutes for the start of quarter number 3 as you're listening to and watching Tiger basketball right here on WVOW, West Virginia's premier sports radio station, and live on video production.
Our world has changed a lot in a short time, but your health and safety remains our #1 priority. We have the supplies needed and processes in place to keep you safe. We've implemented visitor restrictions, and we are reducing physical contact as much as possible. Patients and employees are required to wear masks for your protection and theirs. And your care team is screened daily. So don't wait to get the care that you need. Logan Regional Medical Center, always here for you.
Evans Funeral Home and Cremation Services, founded in 1975 by Riley Joe Evans, is a full-service funeral provider, and 2020 makes it 45 years of offering services that respect all faiths, personal preferences, and financial considerations. They're the only funeral home in Boone, Lincoln, and Logan with its own crematory. Contact Evans Funeral Home and Cremation Services at 304-855-3232 or visit www.evans-funeral-home.com or like Evans Funeral Home and Cremation Services on Facebook to see their updated obituary information.
Peyton, what are we doing here?
Welcome to Peytonville. Nationwide helps protect everything you see in here, Brad. Every family, every business, even Mrs. Hoffman's dream of retiring to become a yoga instructor.
Oh, they have backstories.
Here, I got more to show you.
Did you know when you send or receive a text message, you take your eyes off the road for 5 seconds? At 55 miles per hour, that's like driving more than the length of a football field blindfolded. As a result, thousands of people die every year in crashes related to distracted driving. That's why we're cracking down on people who text or use their smartphones while driving. We would rather you cross the goal line alive. Law enforcement officers write tickets to save lives. Don't text and drive.
Getting ready for the start of quarter number 3 here from Danny Gobby Gymnasium. Chris Kidd and Devin Collins with you. And Devin, Chapmanville has this 3-point lead. What do they got to do to keep it and keep the pressure on Hoover in the second half?
They just got to limit mistakes. They just had 4 or 5 huge mistakes there at the end of the half and just let Hoover right back in the game. You got to kill this Hoover momentum right now. Come out. These first few minutes here are huge.
Yeah, it was a 22-9 lead for Chapmanville near the end of the first half, and a 10-0 run by Hoover has drawn them to 3 as Craddock tries to go down low, but pass deflected and stolen away. Here come the Huskies looking to take it to a 1-point game or perhaps tie on this possession. They get it over left side. Again, they led early on at Herbert Hoover, but they haven't led since 6-4. Hatfield pulls up for 3 from the top of the key, short and rebounded by Workman. He looks up ahead and he travels with it again. His man got covered up at the last second. Workman pulled it down and he picked up his pivot foot.
2 errors there to start the half for Chapmanville.
And again, Chapmanville 2 turnovers, as you mentioned, back-to-back to start the quarter. So it's kind of picked up where they left off to end the first half. And Chapmanville going right to left across your computer screen and radio dial with Herbert Hoover going left to right. Again, this is a tough Hoover defense as well. We talked about how good Chapmanville's defense has been, but this Hoover defense really starting to swarm now. Can Chapmanville withstand the flurry? Pass into the corner. Nice pump fake by Robertson. Fade away 3, and he gets it to go, and we're all tied.
That was a tough shot.
And again, that's his first points tonight. He had 21 against Nicholas County, had 14 against Winfield, and he's finally on the board here tonight. So we are on a 13-0 run for Herbert Hoover as Workman on the right wing down low. Nice look for Blevins, and he'll lay it in.
Great play right there.
And that ends the drought now for Chapmanville as Blevins picks up his 5th point. Here comes Herbert Hoover back across the timeline. 24-22 Chapmanville, 6:35 to go in the third. They get it over right side for Copenhaver. He picks up his dribble, pass down low, and there's Blevins again on the knockaway. It'll stay with Hoover, but again, we talked about his ball skills. He's got great instincts for a freshman.
Oh, yeah, he does. He's all over the place.
Again, he's only going to keep developing as he's still tall, a little gangly, but I said more he fills out, the tougher he's going to be as they get it over the left side. 3 on the way, and good for Copenhaver as Hoover has retaken the lead. Now how will Chapmanville respond here? It's a 16-2 run for Herbert Hoover. Workman rather, pass over for Brody Dalton. Pump fakes, he's double teamed. Back out front, Smith fakes against Chapman. Now to Craddock on the left side. Craddock dribbles in, gets it out to Workman. Drives in, dumps it off for Blevins. Tries to split a double team, and we get a whistle and a foul on the floor. Let's see who they get this on. This will be against Copenhaver on the hold. So that'll be number 2 on him. Now Chapmanville will inbound underneath their own basket as it'll be Dalton to trigger it in. They'll get it into Craddock. And now the Dalton turnaround jumper at the free throw line. In and out, no good. Rebound batted around, and Copenhaver gets it. Now they'll give it over to Robertson as he'll bring it up against Smith. Now over left side for Rager. Rager against Craddock. Craddock knocks it away from him, goes to the ground, tries to throw it up ahead. Ball's loose, and it'll go out of bounds off of Chapmanville, but still a great effort by Craddock.
Oh, yeah. If you're Chapmanville here, you really want to hope Hoover don't get started from three-point line. That's they knock down 2 to start the half.
And I did like that Chapmanville had someone leaking out there as well. Again, maybe that'll be something we see, try and get an easy basket. There's a push-off on Hatfield, and, yeah, they caught it.
Right in front of the ref.
Yeah, he just put both arms into Workman and pushed him off, and that was about as easy of a call as that official will have all year.
Yep.
Again, Hatfield contesting it, but, yeah, I mean, and I'm sure him and Workman are jostling with each other, but, yeah, right there, that was just about as obvious as it could get.
Yeah, that was definitely a foul.
Now here's Chapmanville trailing at 25-24. They get it over. Smith gets a good look from the left side, but it's a line drive, no good. Rebounded by Hatfield. He'll bring it up the right side. Hatfield against Workman, gets by him, drives in, looks underneath, and there's Craddock to knock it away again.
That's just been a couple of times Colton has hands on the balls there and not been able to get a hold of them.
And he's done a great job tonight on the defensive end. Again, he's got a good size, he's got good hands, and able to get a couple deflections here in the last couple possessions. There's Robertson looking for help, gets it to Chapman. Chapman out front, had it poked away by Workman, and now here's Blevins. 3-on-3 the other way. Blevins keeps it himself. We get a whistle and a foul on the floor as the Herbert Hoover fans continue to say that everything is a walk here tonight.
heard that 100 times already.
Serious. I was like, yes, Chapmanville has walked on several occasions, but it's not every time they touch the ball.
No.
Did not see it on that occasion either as Workman looks to get it in, finds Dalton underneath, and he's fouled on the way up. And actually, Devin Hatfield now has 3 fouls on that last foul, and this one's going to go against Rager. That'll be his second.
Yeah, if Hatfield picks another one up by about halfway through this quarter, that's going to make it very interesting to see what the coach does with him.
Actually, that's number 3 on Rager, so that's 14 fouls against Hoover very quickly here in the third. So Dalton will go to the line. He's got 8 points here tonight. First free throw short.
In a low-scoring game, getting in the bonus can make such a huge difference, especially if a team's making their foul shots.
And again, we saw the difference that it made the other night with the Logan and Man game, with both teams getting into the penalty, and it came down to free throws. Dalton misses both, but Blevins gets the rebound, tries to feed it to Dalton, goes to Craddock instead. Back to Dalton, counted and one. That was a volleyball sequence there, but it all started with a great rebound by Blevins.
Yeah, that was a great play by Blevins not to give up on the play. Usually you see guys just fall back off a foul shot, but he jumped over, was able to grab the ball.
I'll tell you what, that was a great little shovel pass by Craddock,
too. It was, for sure. I don't know if it was intentional or not, off his leg and everything, but it was still a great play.
I was going to say, it all counts in the scorebook.
Oh, yeah.
Now Dalton goes back to the line, but he misses on the third straight attempt because he can't get the and one. And a foul in the corner will go against Smith. That'll be the first foul of the half against Chapmanville, 5 against Hoover now. That'll be the first on Isaiah Smith. So 26-25 Chapmanville, 5:04 to go in the third quarter. There's Robertson in the backcourt going up against Isaiah Smith. Trying to get by him, now double teamed by Craddock. Gets it across for Rager. He'll drive to the free throw line, pull up jumper, gets it to rattle home.
Number 20, Trevor Rager.
Rager has 3 points now in the evening, and the Huskies retake the lead at 27-26. Now to Blevins, to Craddock in the left corner, drives baseline, caught in a double team, kicks it back out. Smith, 3 on the way, no good. He's just not had the touch here tonight from the outside, but rebounded by Dalton underneath. Tried to get his way back up, had it knocked away and out of bounds.
Thing is for shooters, once he hits one, he'll probably hit a couple in a row. Numbers will catch up for sure.
Yeah, I was going to say, he's been so solid all year long. It's just been a little uncharacteristic of him tonight. Just seems like he's rushing it a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
But then again, he's knocked down way more threes in high school than I have, so I'll sit here and shut up.
Yeah, once he hits that first one, he'll be good.
Now they get it down low to Dalton. Wow, what a move by him. He faked up top, went to the low side, and was able to get the layup.
He's been so good inside tonight.
He's got 12 points on the evening, and Chapmanville now retakes the lead, 28-27, approaching the midway point of the third quarter. Tough up and under by Robertson, and he'll be fouled by Blevins as he was able to draw the contact. Blevins, that'll be, I believe, his second. Yeah, I was correct. So that'll be number 2 on him. Team foul number 2 on Chapmanville. As Robertson knocked down his first shot of the game earlier this quarter, and he cans the first free throw. So Frank Early will check back in as Rager will go to the bench again. You got Hatfield, Copenhaver, and Rager all with 3 fouls now for Herbert Hoover, so they're really starting to approach serious foul trouble. Robertson hits both free throws, and the Huskies retake the lead at 29-28 as it continues to swing back and forth here in the third quarter. Workman on the right side, gets a screen up top, dribbles up top, gives it to Dalton. Dalton trying to find his way inside, finds a little crease, can't finish on the layup, knocked away, and it looks like Blevins got hit in the face or poked in the eye perhaps, and now we got a lot of contact in the backcourt as Smith.
A lot of people down right now.
Yeah, I was going to say, it's demolition derby on the floor. Yeah, Blevins appears to be okay, and thankfully Robertson gets up okay, but they both look a little hazy at the moment. It looks like whenever he ran into Workman, Robertson just got his bell rung a little bit. It seemed like Blevins got poked in the eye or poked in the face, might be bleeding.
I think his mouth's bleeding a little bit.
Yeah, so he took a shot then underneath, so they're going to have to go back there and get that stopped. This is the second time this season he's had to exit the game to go get a cut worked on, so hopefully he'll be back soon. Again, he's played a great game here tonight. Now Herbert Hoover trying to build on this 1-point lead as they get it over for Dylan Paxton. They had a good close to the first half for the Huskies. Now to Early, back over to Paxton. Paxton up against Craddock, trying to find some help. Picks up his dribble, passes down low, somehow finds Early. He goes up with the left hand, no good, but no one there to guard Chapman, and he'll get the easy putback.
Just watch for Chapmanville getting some kind of pick and roll action here.
Yeah, again, they were using that successfully in the first half. Now with Early back in the game, we'll see if they try and go to it again. As they get it over to Workman on the right wing. Now to Smith, gets into the middle, can't find an opening, out to Workman, three on the way, off the mark, rebounded by Early, and a reach-in foul will go against Brody Dalton. Again, Chapmanville's got a couple of good looks on the last couple of possessions, just haven't quite had the touch from the outside tonight.
Yeah, they're getting the shots they want, they just got to knock them down now.
Again, the other night against Scott, they hit only 3 threes in that contest, and have continued to struggle from the perimeter here this evening. Now they go inside for Paxton. Nice pass out to Robertson. Goes down low for Early. Good look for Paxton.
That was great ball movement right there for sure.
Absolutely, Devin. That
great
was
passing.
Tremendous. Again, I think all 5 hands touched the ball that time. Yeah. And ended up with that easy layup for Paxton. And now danger territory for Chapmanville as they've fallen behind by 5. They get it to Butcher. Now out front for Dalton. Now to Smith on the left wing. Smith gives it over to Workman. Now to Isaac Butcher. He'll launch a 3, no good, but there's Craddock on the boards, clean up. And so give Chapmanville another opportunity. Craddock into the middle, over to Smith on the right wing. So he's approached by Paxton. Smith gets into the paint and ends up traveling with it as he picked up his pivot foot.
Just scooted that back foot a little bit on that jump stop.
Now we're down to 2:20 to go in the third quarter as Zion Blevins back into the game as Butcher will go back to the bench. Again, after taking that shot to the mouth and bleeding a little bit, they're able to get it under control in the back. Chapmanville will continue with full court pressure here as Hoover able to break it. Hatfield gives it over, now baseline for Early, pass underneath to Chapman, knocked away, but they're going to get a foul instead. And very quickly, Chapmanville has caught up to Hoover in the foul department as we're all even at 5.
Yep. This is a big couple minutes right here. Chapman will crawl back into it, or so we're going to slowly start pulling away.
And that's going to be number 3 on Devin Workman. Now Chapmanville approaching some foul trouble. Oh, and Early and Blevins collided. Blevins went flying to the ground, and they're going to get the foul on Chapmanville as Brad Napper wants to know where was the foul on the bump a second ago.
Yep. It's just a big body. Strong kid.
Yeah, I was going to say, it just seems like, Blevins running into a brick wall there. As Early had the position. Free throw off the mark, no good for Early. He had 4 against Nicholas County. He also had 14 earlier this year against Midland Trail.
He's had a few great passes this game.
I'm going to say the big guy's got some good touch underneath there.
For sure.
Second free throw gets it to go, and now the lead is swelled to 6. So that is number 3 on Colton Craddock as well. So he and Workman both with 3 fouls, and that is the 16th foul against Chapmanville. Again, it was 5-0 a minute ago, but now it's Chapmanville's turn as they've taken a lot of the fouls here as of late. Dalton at the top of the key, over to Smith, now to Blevins in the left corner. Back up top for Smith, goes behind his back, trying to find a crease, gives it to Blevins, drives in on Early, spins in, and a whistle and a travel against Blevins. And again, this defense for Herbert Hoover has just really ramped up since about the 3-minute mark of the second quarter.
Yep. And you can just tell Chapmanville's a young team, just a lot of unforced errors out there right now.
Now they inbound it to Chapman, over to Hatfield. It's across midcourt. Minute 40 to go here in the third quarter. Hatfield gets the shot off, no good. We get a whistle and a foul away from the ball. And this will go against Isaiah Fleming. That'll be number 1 on him, but that'll put Herbert Hoover in the 1-and-1 now. Hatfield, though, he's been quiet since the first quarter. Again, we said they had to hold him down. He's got 8 points, but all of them came in the first.
Yeah, he had 8 points right off the bat, and that's his first bucket since.
Now he'll look to get into double figures here. And Hoover shot very well from the line tonight. And there's the announcer's jinx.
Yep.
Man, I need to patent this almost. I am just too good at this. I mean, it's not intentional at all, but boy, it happens about every time I say anything. As Dalton drives in, turnaround is no good, but a whistle and a foul will go against Hoover.
Now both teams are being the bonus for the last 9.5 minutes of this game. It's going to be a long, drawn-out game.
Yeah, I was going to say, we had a pretty quick moving game early on. Now they're checking to see if Dalton is bleeding, I think. But it doesn't appear that he has a cut on him, and now they're checking Frank Early.
Somebody has blood on him out there.
Yeah, I was going to say, blood came from somebody. Yeah, because I do see it on Brody Dalton's jersey that there's some blood on the left side of it. So I think they're trying to see, and I think Early is the culprit, so they're going to end up getting him patched up here. Yeah, this has turned into a very physical game ever since about the midway point of the second quarter, as Herbert Hoover realized that they really needed to pick it up once Chapmanville really pushed the intensity.
Chapmanville just came out and hit Hoover in the mouth. They really didn't know what to expect, but once they got settled down, they just got poised and started hitting their shots.
Well, now it's Brody Dalton that's going to go to the locker room to get a jersey change because of the blood on him. So while he does that and we wait for him to come out for his free throws, just a reminder that Nationwide Insurance agent Greg Dalton is a proud supporter of Chapmanville Regional Athletics and the community of Logan County. For auto, home, life, and business insurance, call the Greg Dalton Agency at 304-855-4906. Greg Dalton Insurance, with offices on Main Street in Chapmanville and Main Street in Logan. For all your sides, there is Nationwide. This is WVOW Logan. Now Dalton with a
number 44.
Yeah, I was going to say, got himself a fresh piece of linen on now.
No blood.
As his free throw up, I tell you what, maybe the new number helped the free throw.
Maybe.
Again, Brody was 0 for 3 from the line this quarter, but buries that one.
Don't jinx it here.
I'm not saying a word.
There we go.
All right, it goes in.
There we go.
Just put duct tape over my mouth next time. I'm going to say the Hoover and Chapmanville fans saying, just shut up, man. So now here comes Hatfield across midcourt, 35-30 in favor of Hoover, looking for more, and Paxton buries a left wing three as he got wide open.
Wide open shots. That's the second three he's hit this quarter just off a wide open shot.
He's got 11 now, and the lead has swelled to 8 for Herbert Hoover. Again, at one point, Chapmanville led by 13. Now Fleming looks to answer back from 3 on the other end. Oh, in and out. That's second one that's happened to him. Here comes Hoover now trying to get this to a double-digit lead. Again, 7-1 in AAA. They've had a tremendous year thus far. Chapmanville trying to pull the upset. But now Paxton open again from 3 from the corner. This time, no short. So here comes Chapmanville with Craddock across the timeline as we're at 45 seconds left in the quarter. Dalton fakes pass, gives it over himself, takes a 3 from the left side, and a big bucket.
Just look for Chapmanville to start pushing in transition, because once Hoover gets set up in defense, they've been really good throughout the game.
And Dalton's got 9 this quarter. He's got 17 for the game, as he's got 9 of the 11 points for Chapmanville this period. Now here's Workman, and we got a whistle and a foul, and Fleming wasn't happy with the call. He thought he just stayed in front of him. And those are the frustrating ones if you're a player playing defense. You feel like you're just staying in front of your man.
And then you look at the ref like, what do you want me to do? Just let him go by?
Yeah, and I think that's what Fleming's trying to say here. You know, I'm trying to stay in front of him, and he created the contact. What am I supposed to do? Yeah. As Hatfield does get the first free throw to fall through. And he did hit the game-winning free throws against Scott with 2 seconds left earlier this season. Again, that was an 87-86 win against the Skyhawks. And he gets both free throws to go here. So 40-33 in favor of Herbert Hoover. Final 20 seconds of the third quarter. Craddock brings it across the timeline. Herbert Hoover trying to get a defensive stop here to close out what's been a very productive quarter for them. Down to 8 seconds. Craddock drives over to the right side. Cut off by Hatfield. Pass out front, almost stolen. Fleming gets it. Down to 3 seconds. Fleming fakes, puts up the shot. It'll be short, and that'll end the third quarter of play as Herbert Hoover able to come out and retake the lead and build it to 7 as we head to quarter number 4. We'll be back after this as you're listening to and watching Tiger basketball right here on WVOW, West Virginia's premier sports radio station, and live on Video Productions.
America built Ford proud. Thornhill Ford Lincoln is proud to offer you our all-new Thornhill Value Plus warranty, giving you 10 years, 150,000-mile limited powertrain warranty on most all vehicles. Get going. The road to total savings starts with Thornhill.
Accidents, illness, heart attacks, strokes. When an emergency strikes, count on Logan Regional Medical Center. We're here providing emergency care 24/7. Including the higher levels of emergency heart care found in our accredited chest pain center, and our enhanced cleaning, mask requirements, and social distancing to help keep you safe. Emergency care at Logan Regional Medical Center. When minutes matter, count on us.
The road to total savings starts here, Thornhill GM Superstore. Find new roads to 119 in Chapmanville, your hometown full-service Buick, Chevy, GMC dealer. We are professional grade and community strong. Expect the best and save thousands with Thornhill.
40-33 in favor of Herbert Hoover as we start quarter number 4. Chris Kidd and Devin Collins here with you. And again, Chapmanville hanging in there, but this has been a Hoover team that has experience, has been very, very good all year long, and they've just kind of upped their level here in the second half. Now they'll get the ball to start the fourth quarter as well. Again, going left to right across your computer screen and radio dial, with Chapmanville going right to left. As Robertson gives it over to Hatfield on the right wing. Being guarded by Workman, back in with those 3 fouls. Nice over-the-head pass for Chapman. He'll get to the free throw line. Now out to Robertson on the left wing. Now he goes down to Early, guarded by Dalton. Early backing in. Can't find any space. Goes to Robertson in the corner for 3. No good. Nice defense there by Chapmanville.
Chapmanville's going to have to slowly start creeping back in this game right now.
And again, it's just possession by possession. Again, defensive stop. Try and find something on the offensive end. As they get it to Workman on the left wing. Now to Dalton at the free throw line. Nice flash by him. Jumper off, though. Rebounded by Blevins as he'll give him another chance. Now to Craddock. He'll take the jumper. Almost banked it in, but no good. And rebounded by Robertson.
Chapmanville's getting open looks. They just can't knock them down.
I was going to say, those were 2 good looks right there for Chapmanville. Just unable to get either to go down. Now to Paxton on the right wing. Goes to Early on the right block. Had it poked away by Workman. He's done that so well tonight. Now here's Craddock. One-on-one with Robertson. Nice fake. Can't get the layup to go, though. Rebounded by Blevins, and he'll be fouled on the floor. Let's see who they get this on. Looks like they signaled number 12, so that'll be on. Or wait, no, are we going the other way?
This ref caught it on Hoover. Another ref caught it on Chapmanville. So I guess they're going foul on Chapmanville.
Huh. Wow, yeah, Brad Napper with his hands on his head right now. Just can't believe it.
That's a big swing, you know. If Chapmanville makes 2 foul shots, it's a 5-point game. Now if Hoover makes 2 of theirs, it's a 9-point game.
Well, they're going to get Blevins on over the back call. That'll be number 3 on him. So yeah, tough break for Chapmanville there, as this will be the final 1-on-1 for Herbert Hoover, and Rager gets it to go. Yeah, he was 1 of 4 from the free throw line in the first quarter. He's now got 4 points for the game, make it 5.
He's making them when it matters.
And again, had a chance to perhaps cut that to 5 on that possession. It's a 4-point swing instead against Chapmanville. Now the Tigers looking to dig deep here as they trail it by as much as they have all evening long. And now they'll get a foul and a block on Paxton.
Got to make your foul shots here.
So that'll be number 2 on Dylan Paxton. And yes, these will be 2 big free throws here again. Chapmanville hasn't had a great evening from the line, but there's Craddock hitting the first. Yeah, thus far, they've missed 5 free throws on the night. So just 4 of 9 from the charity stripe are the Tigers. And then on the other end, again, Hoover, minus Rager's 3 misses in the first quarter. They've only missed 2 since then. They have been to the line more often than Chapmanville, but Craddock with 2 big ones there.
Yep. Back down to a 7-point game. Got to get some stops.
Like we said, just got to chip away here little by little. if you're the Chapmanville Tigers, as they up it to Robertson and break the pressure. 6:35 to go in the quarter, and now with a whistle and turnover again. Robertson just kind of lost his balance, as did Blevins. They both went down, and they're going to say a turnover on Robertson. And yeah, the Herbert Hoover fans thinking there was a foul. It looked like Blevins is laboring a bit now. I don't know if his leg or his knee buckled. But they'll continue on here as Chapmanville trying to get this to a 2-possession game. Dalton on the right wing gets the free throw line, loses it off his knee, but thankfully there's Isaiah Smith in the right spot. So he'll get it over to Workman, now to Craddock. Craddock on the right wing trying to spin in. Back out front for Dalton at the top of the key as we're down to 6:10 remaining in the fourth quarter. Now here's Smith. Smith goes to work, kicks it out to Craddock. Craddock to the free throw line. Now to Workman on the left wing. Back out to Craddock. And again, Herbert Hoover doing a great job closing on all these passes, getting in the right spot. Back out front for Smith. Now they go down low to Dalton on the right block. Trying to find some space on Chapman. Tough shot, and Chapman was able to deflect that into the side of the basket. Now up ahead to Chapman. He runs the floor, gets it on the left side, and can't finish the layup. Ooh, and out of bounds off of Chapmanville.
That was just great D by Hoover there, just keeping Chapmanville in front of him, making them shoot a tough shot.
And again, Brody had a tough baseline jumper there that Chapman was just able to contest, but great job by Chapmanville getting back on that possession. What a look from Hatfield, too early, can't finish, but he tips it back out. Paxton open three, no good, but there's Early again on the boards, goes back up with the right hand, and Early able to finish. Frank Early with 3 points now and 9-point lead for Hoover.
He just got 3 points. He's made a lot happen tonight, for sure.
Yeah, he earned it on that possession as there's Dalton spinning on the left hand. He can't finish, but he's fouled on the play, and everyone on the Herbert Hoover bench just faded back, and they're looking at the lights in the ceiling right now, and they're not checking for asbestos.
No, they're not happy about that call.
And there's a push from behind, I guess, on that. But that was
maybe.
Yeah, perhaps. Again, generously saying. Yes, Trey Chapman is whistled on the foul as Dalton goes to the line and misses on the first. And like we said, those are areas right there where if you're looking to spring the upset,
you got to take advantage of free points.
Yes, that's the 6th missed free throw tonight for Chapmanville. Second on the way. This one rattles around and falls through. So Dalton now with 18 points on the night. So he's had another big evening for Chapmanville. And he had 22 against Polk earlier this year. Had 17 against Scott the other night. So he's been right around that average in nearly every game. Robertson able to get it across the timeline. Again, another thing to remember, Brody Dalton just a sophomore.
Yep.
Now here's Paxton up top for Hatfield. Underneath for Early. 8-point lead for the Huskies. Pass out front, knocked away by Workman. He'll take it. Up ahead to Dalton. Looks in left side, drives in. Can't finish the layup.
Got to get back now. Got to get back.
Yeah, that's a tough miss there for Chapmanville. They've left 4 points on the floor on missed layups this quarter. Pass by Hatfield into the middle. Chapman gets his man in the air, draws the contact, and he'll go to the line. A great fake there by Chapman.
Good play by him, recognizing Colton's a little bit smaller, getting him in the air, and easy foul call.
Yeah, and on the other end, again, it was a tough layup for Dalton. Again, he took those 2 long strides, and really when you got those long strides, you don't really have your balance going up.
Yeah, that's a very tough shot, especially when you can't dribble in between, especially when the defender's there too. I mean, that just makes it even harder.
There's Chapman able to get the first free throw to fall. So he's got 7 points now on the evening. So now a chance to push this to a double-digit lead as Craddock will exit the game with 4 fouls. No one underneath the rebound for the Huskies as Chapman misses on the second. Now here come the Tigers, trailing at 45-36, 4.5 minutes to go in the ball game. Dalton gets into the middle, kicks it out. Wide open look for Fleming. Oh, is on line, but just short. Rebounded by Robertson. Chapmanville, they've done a great job setting up some of these shots. Just been a little unlucky this evening on finding the bottom of the net. Now here's Chapman, just inside the arc. Kicks it out to Robertson, now to Hatfield. 3 on the way, off the side of the rim, no good. Rebounded by Workman. Again, Workman, who's had such good active hands tonight on the defensive end, dribbles in, kicks it over to Fleming. He'll try that 3 again, off the mark. May have been deflected by Robertson. So rebound by the Huskies as Hatfield waits in the backcourt. 45-36 lead for Hoover as Hatfield loses it off his foot. Taken by Workman, a 3-on-2 chance here for Chapmanville. Workman pulls up, jumper on the way, no good. Rebounded by Robertson underneath.
Chapmanville just had so many opportunities they ain't been able to capitalize on, which just came back to bottom now.
And they've had their difficulties on the offensive end, again, averaging about 48 points per game this year. Great give and go to Paxton, but blocked away by Blevins. And again, great defensive recovery. We've seen Chapmanville recover very well on the defensive end tonight whenever Hoover seems like they've had them beat.
Especially come off a fast break. Usually that's the best time for other teams to score, but they've got back well.
Now here comes Trey Butcher into the game.
Trey Butcher.
And Brody Dalton will go to the bench here.
Give him about a 30-second break.
Yeah, I was going to say, I think just trying to give him a little breather, and Herbert Hoover helps him out here with calling a timeout.
Maybe not.
Well, it'll be a full timeout, so we'll take it as well. 3:30 to go in the ball game. 9-point lead for Hoover as you're listening to and watching Chapmanville basketball right here on WVOW, West Virginia's premier sports radio station, and live on video productions.
McCline & Campbell, we pride ourselves on providing classic service.
You get a firm that's concerned about you, your family, as well as the legal process.
We combine the newest technology and digital tools.
With our 35 years of experience.
To help you get more than the insurance company wants to offer.
Traditional service.
Contemporary techniques.
It'll never go out of style.
Call 346-5990.
Steve, is that your car?
No, it's a rental.
Did you know when you send or receive a text message, you take your eyes off the road for 5 seconds? At 55 miles per hour, that's like driving more than the length of a football field blindfolded. As a result, thousands of people die every year in crashes related to distracted driving. That's why we're cracking down on people who text or use their smartphones while driving. We would rather you cross the goal line alive. Law enforcement officers write tickets to save lives. Don't text and drive.
45-36 in favor of Herbert Hoover over Chapmanville. 3.5 minutes to play. Chris Kidd and Devin Collins here with you this evening. As a foul out front as Devin Workman tried to go for the steal, but instead he'll pick up his 4th foul. But he's been very good at that this evening.
He's probably got 4 or 5 steals this game.
And that's what I said, just a sophomore. I said he's looking for his shot more, which is great on the offensive end. And I said his ball handling ability has really, really been well for Chapmanville, taking over at point guard spot for Phillip Mullins. And on the defensive end, he's just been a great job of being a ball hawker.
Oh, yeah.
Now Hatfield able to get the first free throw to rattle home. He's 4 or 5 from the free throw line. All of them here in the second half, but misses on the second. So the lead is now at 10. And Chapmanville hasn't had much success from the outside tonight, but they need to get hot in a hurry here. They've hit 2 threes on the evening and just haven't been able to find the range as Fleming on the left wing gets it out for Smith. Smith over to Fleming in the left corner, back out to Smith again. Those are the 2 big three-point threats on the court right now for Chapmanville, and Smith tried to drive in but kind of lost his footing and ended up traveling. So that'll be another turnover on Chapmanville as we're down to 3:04 to play. Like we said, on the floor though right now, you got Smith, Workman, both sophomores, and you've got Blevins, just a freshman, and to be able to battle a very talent-laden and senior-laden team like Herbert Hoover.
Yeah, they've battled. They've had their chances.
Paxton gets on the offensive boards, and he cleans it up off the miss, and now the lead is up to 12. Yes, this is something, though, that is still going to be a positive going forward for Chapmanville. Again, every one of these top teams they've played this year, they've been able to battle into the 4th quarter, whether it was this team, Nitro, Polka, as Workman goes for 3.
Yeah, if Chapmanville can't come back, it's just going to be one of them games you look back on and be like, we just had the lead the whole time and just let it slip right there at the end of the first half.
That will be a 30-second timeout by Brad Napper. That'll be his last one with 2:34 to play. But, yeah, like we said, this is a Chapmanville club that definitely has battled a lot of teams with a lot more experience down to the wire. And, a lot of these guys, they didn't see as much playing time. The only 2 on the roster last year that did see significant time was Brody Dalton and Isaiah Smith. So they're stepping into a new role, all these guys, and I think they've really handled it well thus far this year.
They have very well. Hoover's 7-1, and Chapmanville's had every chance in the world just to be right there with them all game.
Now they come out of timeout after the Workman 3. Trailing by 9 with 2:34 to play. In foul situation, Herbert Hoover in the double bonus. Chapmanville still in the 1-and-1. As the next foul against Hoover will be the 9th team foul. Hatfield looking to get it in, struggling, throws it away as coming up to take it is Trey Butcher. Now to Dalton, left corner, big three if it can go, no good, but he's fouled on it. And Hatfield is down as well on the play.
That's 4 on Hatfield, I believe.
Yeah, you're right. That'll be number 4 on him, but now we're looking to see what happened to Hatfield here as he gets to his feet, thankfully. And he's limping a little bit, but he looks like he'll be able to stay in the game. And I don't know if he and Dalton just got their feet tangled up or what there, or maybe rolled his ankle.
He may have stepped on Brody's foot when Brody was trying to land.
Yeah, that's obviously trying to close out so fast. You don't always have as much control over yourself as you're getting out there.
These foul shots right here could put Chapmanville right back in the game.
And Dalton does get the first to go, so the lead down to 8. Second free throw swishes it through as he's gone to 20 points now for the evening. And Dalton with one more free throw on that three-point attempt foul. That one goes as well, so he's hit his last 4, and he's hit 6 of his last 7 since his early difficulties at the line. Again, just a kid that continues to battle. And now the lead at 6. They get it up ahead early, gets free underneath, goes up.
Oh.
Ooh, and Butcher thought that he got the ball on that play, but instead they say a foul, and that'll send early to the line.
That was a good play by Butcher there, not jumping on the head fake.
Yeah, so that's such an easy thing to do whenever you're under duress right there, is to just go for the head fake, trying to get the block on the play as Early misses the first. And again, no one underneath the rebound here for Herbert Hoover, as Early's second free throw gets that one to rattle home. So he's got 4 points on the night, 2 of 4 from the line as the lead is at 7. Here's Workman on the left side, up top for Dalton. Dalton will take a 3 from there, and it's down to 4.
44. Right back in it.
2:14 to play, and now get an official's timeout. Look like we got
something's on the court.
A little laundry on the court, it looks like. The official will bring it over. And Devin Hatfield still significantly limping as he looks to inbound, throws it
off the back.
Threw it off the back of Workman. Now he's got a 2-on-1, dishes over to Early, layup no good, but he'll be fouled on the play, and really that's all Trey Butcher could do, and frankly, it was the best thing to do because Hatfield had the easy layup on the other side if he gets the rebound.
You said his ankle looked like it was hurting. I don't know. He was throwing awful fast down the court.
Yeah, I was going to say, man, he got some quickness back all of a sudden. That quick burst all of a sudden reappeared. But yes, Early does hit the first, so it's back to a 5-point game. Can't hit the second, though. So Chapmanville a chance to cut this back to 1 possession. Again, looked like Hoover was going to run him out here a moment ago. Fleming, 3 on the way. It's down to 2!
Well, we got a new ball game now.
This Chapmanville club does not die easy, and all of a sudden we're at a 2-point game. Timeout on the floor. We'll be back after this as you're listening to and watching Tiger Basketball on WVOW, West Virginia's premier sports station, and live on video production.
What a run.
Road to Total Savings starts here. Thornhill GM Superstore. Find new roads to 119 in Chapmanville, your hometown full-service Buick, Chevy, GMC dealer. We are professional grade and community strong. Expect the best and save thousands with Thornhill.
Accidents, illness, heart attacks, strokes. When an emergency strikes, count on Logan Regional Medical Center. We're here providing emergency care 24/7. Including the higher levels of emergency heart care found in our accredited chest pain center, and our enhanced cleaning, mask requirements, and social distancing to help keep you safe. Emergency care at Logan Regional Medical Center. When minutes matter, count on us.
Always here for you, Thornhill GM Superstore. Expect the best, get even more with our new Thornhill Value Plus warranty. 10 years, 150,000-mile limited powertrain warranty on most all vehicles. Get in on all the savings. Follow us on Facebook, Instagram, and ThornhillGMSuperstore.com.
50-48, Chapmanville has gone on a spurt here, knocking down 3 threes in the last couple of minutes to close the gap to 2. Chris Kidd and Devin Collins here with you. A minute 56 remaining. They'll inbound it. Rager knocks Butcher to the ground, no whistle, as Rager will cross midcourt. Gets it up top for Hatfield. Now over to Robertson. Chapmanville chasing all over the floor. Paxton in the right corner. Dribbles back up to the top of the key with 1:45, and now we get a whistle and a hold on Brody Dalton.
Hoover's had a lot of trouble trying to get the ball in bounds.
Yeah, I was going to say they've had to throw a couple up for grabs here.
And then Hatfield threw one off the back.
Well, now nobody underneath the rebound again here. And Rager started the game 1 for 4 from the line, but he did hit his last 2, and he's short on this one. So again, that may have been some of the instructions during the timeout. If Rager or Early gets it, then look to foul perhaps. But Rager does hit the second. So a 3-point game with 1:44 to go. Here comes Workman across the timeline, over to Dalton. On the right wing, he'll spin away, gets baseline, tight ropes it, gets it over to Butcher. He'll go for the tie, no good as it hits the side of the rim twice. Dalton tried to tip it back out, but Butcher had come in to try and rebound and goes out of bounds off of Chapmanville.
Plenty of time left. Still not in panic mode yet.
Again, still 1:29 on the clock here. Again, if you're Chapmanville, play solid defense. See if you can get the steal. They get it up ahead to Rager. Rager tried to get away from Fleming. Almost traveled with it, but nothing called as Robertson at the top of the key. Going up against Smith. Now over to Hatfield, down to 1:17. Hatfield not a person you want to foul. Hatfield gets a sidestep, gets it over, whistle and a charge, and that's going to be number 5.
On Hatfield. That was a perfect play there by Brody.
Brody Dalton, as you said, stood in, saw Hatfield coming. And that should be 5. Again, Hatfield thinks it's just 4. But yeah, the official letting him know it's 5 now.
His 4th foul was down here in the corner on Brody, and then that was his 5th one.
Again, Hatfield's still uncertain that was his 5th. I think even the Hoover bench is uncertain that was his 5th. But Evan Hatfield now out of this game. Big development here as Levi Paxton will check in. And now Colton Creddick will check back in for Chapmanville for Trey Butcher. So again, if Chapmanville can extend this game without their floor leader out there and their leading scorer, this could be a big development. Down to 1:10. Chapmanville trails it by 3. They look inside. They find Dalton. Dalton back out top. Tries to find some penetration. Does. Spins in and hits the turnaround. And another timeout by Brad Napper with exactly 1 minute to go. We'll keep things here with the score now down to 1 at 51-50. And you know, Devin, we were talking about how this was a great effort by Chapmanville. Felt like they were kind of done in this game, and this just the Chapmanville club. We talked about how gritty and tough they are. They just do not go away.
A couple of threes just completely changed the game. I mean, Brody's just got some big buckets here the past couple of minutes. Now we got a brand new ball game. Now Hatfield out of the game. Somebody's going to step up for Hoover and handle the ball.
And again, Brody Dalton has 26 points now here for the evening, 18 of those in the second half. And you even mentioned it during the break that feels like Isaiah Smith. We talked about these threes going down. Feels like Isaiah Smith is due.
Yep.
And you know what? If he gets an open look, you feel like he's going to have to take it here in this final minute.
Sure.
But now, a minute to go. You're on the defensive side for Chapmanville. Herbert Hoover's in the double bonus. How long do you try to play defense here? You got plenty of time. So I said, I figure Chapmanville will allow this to go on for a little bit. But how long do you play defense now with Devin Hatfield, your best ball handler, not on the floor?
You just play super aggressive. You foul, you foul. But, you know, I wouldn't let it go no more than 20 seconds. But if somebody gets the ball that's not look too good from the foul line, then I don't think you have to foul them.
It'll be interesting to see who will handle the ball now for Hoover as they'll inbound underneath the Chapmanville basket. It'll be Rager to trigger it in. Looking for Robertson. He's the best option. Finally do as Robertson gets it. Dribbles up the left side. Don't want to foul him, though. As Workman trying to pick his pocket from behind. Finally did, but it goes to Paxton. Now they get it back up top, down to 50 seconds. Levi Paxton with the ball, fresh off the bench. They get it over to Rager. He'll drive in, cut off. Kicks it back out to Chapman. Now they'll come out, defend against Robertson. Down to 39 seconds. Robertson trying to keep it in his hands. Goes back door for Levi Paxton. He's fouled. Can't finish on the play, but he'll go to the line. Well, now this is a pressure moment for this young man. Again, fresh off the bench. Hasn't been in the game longer than 40 seconds. And now he's going to take probably the 2 biggest free throws of the season for him.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
Well, you were in this situation against Fairmont Senior in the holiday tournament a few years back. Talk about how much pressure there is down by 1 shooting these.
That's just so much pressure. I mean, your goal is to make one to tie, but if you make both of them, it's just awesome. It's a great feeling, too.
Again, he's not under as much duress as you were, at least, as Hoover does have the 1-point lead. But again, if Chapmanville gets this ball back with a chance to tie or win this game, that definitely puts a lot more pressure and a lot more significance here. So here we go. Levi Paxton at the line. His first free throw up, and he's well short. And right there, you can see these are knee knockers.
Yep.
No one underneath the rebound for Hoover. 35.8 seconds to go. I believe Chapmanville still has one timeout left, but good for that kid as he buries the second.
Yep.
52-50 in favor of Herbert Hoover. 35 seconds left in regulation. They get it to Dalton. Back to Workman on the right side. Workman looking out front. Smith got free for a moment. Now goes to Fleming. Fleming in the left corner. Back to Smith. 22 seconds. Chapmanville running this down. A 2 would tie it. A 3 would give them the lead. Workman.
I don't like this.
Now to Fleming. Fleming back out to Workman. 12 seconds. Now to Smith. Could this be it? In and out, no good, but there's Workman. He ties it up. 7 seconds left. Now to Robertson with 4 seconds. Robertson, look up ahead, finds Paxton, and timeout with 0.7 of a second left.
What a play there by Hatfield, not to give up. A lot of guys tend to just stand there and watch that shot go up, but he did not stop on that play.
Woodigan Smith got a pretty good look there. But it rimmed in and out, and as you said, great job by Workman continuing to attack the bucket and got the follow-up. So now, though, Herbert Hoover, I believe they were screaming at the official because they thought they got the timeout sooner.
Way sooner, it looked like, and now they just have a prayer now, honestly, 0.7.
Yeah, I was going to say at that point, I mean, they'd have just
you might as well just play it out.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. You'd have been better off just possibly playing it out.
Yeah,
because
for sure.
Now you're just in a catch-and-shoot situation.
And they had an open look, it looked like.
Yeah, I was thinking Paxton got free there. So he would have had a pretty good look, and he's knocked down a couple of threes tonight.
Especially with Hatfield out of the game, that might be the guy you want taking the shot.
Again, if this goes into overtime, you have to feel like Chapmanville has all the momentum, especially with Devin Hatfield out of the game now. So if they can hold on this possession, we'll have an extra 4 minutes coming your way, unless Herbert Hoover can throw in a prayer here. Now they'll have it right in front of their bench, so they will have a chance for a catch and shoot and a pretty good look if they get one.
You definitely can't foul here for Chapmanville.
Paxton will look to trigger it in. Looking, throws it in. Robertson turns and
overtime.
Yeah, that's well off the mark, no good, and we do go to extra basketball. We'll be back here in 60 seconds as Chapmanville and Hoover tied at 52. You're listening to and watching Tiger Basketball right here on WVOW, West Virginia's premier sports station, and live on Video Productions.
I can't believe that.
Peyton, what are we doing here?
Welcome to Peytonville. Nationwide helps protect everything you see in here, Brad. Every family, every business, even Mrs. Hoffman's dream of retiring to become a yoga instructor.
Oh, they have backstories.
Here, I got more to show you.
Kinzel Law Office is a local firm located at 36 Adams Street in Chapmanville. Rob Kinzel has been practicing law in Logan County for over 15 years and is dedicated to providing quality legal representation for personal injury, criminal defense, and family law for individuals and families throughout southern West Virginia. Call Kinzel Law Office today to set up your free consultation. Rob Kinzel, quality legal services close to home.
52-52 as we head to overtime here from Danny Gobby Gymnasium. Chris Kidd and Devin Collins with you, and what an introduction for Devin Collins into radio.
First game, overtime, baby.
I tell you what, we wouldn't have had it any other way as Chapmanville battles back from 11 down in the fourth quarter.
And Chapmanville gets the ball first, too. No tip-off.
And just a 4-minute overtime, unless you're unfamiliar with it, as Tigers looking to take the lead back for the first time since the third quarter. Dalton had it poked away by Rader, but gets it back. Dalton now picked up by Chapman. Again, Chapmanville going right to left across your computer screen and radio dial. Herbert Hoover left to right. Dalton back over to Workman. Workman gets into the paint, kicks it out for Smith. Smith dribbles to the free throw line and cut off. Now drive back out and reset. 30 seconds gone in overtime. Again, no Devin Hatfield here in overtime as he has already fouled out for Herbert Hoover. Now Smith spins away, pass is deflected and stolen away by Rager. One-on-one with Dalton, and Dalton tried to reach in and knock it away, but instead commits the foul, and really it was just a 50-50 chance he had to take.
Yep. You definitely want to see Hoover have to make foul shots instead of just give him the free 2 points there.
That'll be number 3 now on Brody Dalton. And again, Rager was being aggressive that entire possession, was finally able to get into the passing lane and deflect that away. So he'll go back to the line. First free throw up, no good, off the back iron.
That's all I'm saying. Hoover's been struggling from the foul line, so you definitely want to see him make some before you just give him the free 2 on the layup.
So now he'll get another attempt here. Rager looks to reclaim the lead, but can as he misses on both. So again, the pressure mounting on both sides right now. Again, Herbert Hoover 7-1 in AAA. Did not expect this kind of fight tonight, and Smith travels with it again. And man, he's just really had a tough evening here tonight. Again, Smith has 2 points on the night. You just still feel like he's due at some point in this game.
Yep.
So Herbert Hoover will get it back off the turnover as we approach 3 minutes to go in overtime, 52-52. Robertson, now the primary ball handler with Hatfield out of the game, brings it up against Smith. Able to spin away, but Smith gets back in front.
5 seconds.
And there it is.
There it is.
Great call, Devin Collins. Again, he could not get away from Smith. Well, right there, he makes up for it on the defensive end.
Got the ball right back.
And that's the tough-mindedness of that kid, too, right there. Again, you turn the ball over, you've had a tough evening.
You got to forget about that.
Exactly. You get it back on the defensive side, and that was a great job by the sophomore. They go down low to Dalton. Dalton spins in on the right side, and Brody Dalton gives Chapmanville the lead. He's got 28 points now on the night, 54-52 Chapmanville, 2:37 to go in overtime. Robertson almost falls, and Dalton tried to jump the passing lane, but instead ran into Rager, and that'll send him to the line, and that'll be number 4 on Dalton.
I think at this point, if you're Chapmanville, you got to keep feeding Brody inside. Hoover just hasn't had anybody stop him.
I agree. Right now, again, Chapman really seems to be the only one size-wise that can match up with him, but it seems like Brody can take whoever he's got on him right now.
He's had some great moves tonight.
Yeah, he's learned to use that pivot foot so effectively. Well, now Rager goes back to the charity stripe here. First free throw, no good. He's missed all 3 here in overtime. He's missed 7 free throws tonight as he's 4 of 11 from the free throw line. And this one to try and cut it to 1. No good. He's missed all 4 now in overtime.
And you know Brad's going to note that too later on. If somebody gets the ball, you have to foul.
And that's when Chapmanville is kind of picked on, but now he gets a steal. He's on a run out as Workman trying to chase him down from behind, and he gets the layup to fall.
Got the 2 points back really quick.
And as we talked about perseverance, and there it is from Trevor Rager as he gets it back on the defensive end. All even at 54 as we're at 2:08 to go in overtime. Smith over to his right. Up top for Workman. Workman trying to get away, gets into the paint, whistle and a reach-in foul against Hoover. We're down to 1:59 to go. Now Workman will shoot 2.
See who can make the most foul shots at this point. Both teams in double bonus.
That's what I said. Both teams have had their moments of difficulty here tonight from the charity stripe. As Workman is 0 for 1. He's got 9 points on the night, though, including the putback that sent us to overtime. And he does give Chapmanville the lead back. The sophomore into double figures now. He had 5 points against Scott the other night. Has doubled that here tonight and add 1 to it.
He's being big, being really big down the wire here with the putback and regulation, now the 2 foul shots.
56-54 Chapmanville, 1:55 to go in overtime. Robertson up the right side, cut off by Smith, gets a screen up top, goes over to Paxton. Paxton on the left wing, dribbles down, gives it to Rager. He'll take a 3 from the corner, no good. Long rebound comes out, and Smith able to tear it away for Chapmanville. And there it is again. As we said, he's doing it on the defensive side for Chapmanville. Big board there with 1.5 minutes to play in OT. Levens on the left wing. Oh, and Rager basically tackles Dalton to the ground, but I think they got tangled up.
No question about that call.
Yeah, it looked like Rager was trying to fight over top of that screen and ended up just arm-barring Brody Dalton to the ground. So it wasn't anything intentional. He was just trying to get his position back. But that'll be number 4 on Rager now. So you got foul trouble everywhere. Rager with 4, Dalton with 4, Workman with 4. And now Dalton at the free throw line for Chapmanville, off the mark on the first. Still a chance to push this lead to 3 with 1 free throw. Then 28 points on the evening for the sensational sophomore.
Maybe it's that new number, 44.
I was going to say. Has definitely changed a lot here since he had to change that jersey. Second free throw, he gets the friendly bounce off the back rim. That bounced off the back rim, went straight into the air and fell through. 57-54, excuse me. Chapmanville leads at 1:18 left in OT. What a drive by Robertson.
Great take.
Boy, he was able to sidestep everyone, and he cuts it to 1. Down to 1:10 to play. Workman almost had it knocked away by Copenhaver. Hands it off to Smith. Smith at the top of the key. It's Herbert Hoover coming out, extending their defense. Rager almost fouls Dalton again. Over to Smith, and Brad Napper's going to call timeout with 57.9 left. As Herbert Hoover's bench upset, they thought they had a foul. We'll step aside here with 57 seconds left as you're watching Tiger basketball and listening on WVOW, West Virginia's premier sports station, and live on video production.
General Stores knows West Virginia, but what some may not know is what LG is doing in your communities. And I'm here to tell you how Little General, with the strength of their 100+ stores, is helping to enrich lives and empower families in West Virginia. Like the Norma May Huggins Cancer Research Endowment Fund, which is fighting to cure cancer every day right here in West Virginia. Locally owned and operated, LG has always been there and always will be. Little General Stores, committed to West Virginians. Boom!
No regrets.
If only she'd parked in a garage. If only they had the chimney cleaned. If only they had Erie Insurance. Erie is seriously good insurance that treats you fairly and goes above and beyond to make you feel like your auto or home mishap never happened. At rates that'll save you as much as the other guys. So get a quote from Erie today. Because whatever your regrets in life, your insurance company shouldn't be one of them.
Chapmanville clinging to a 1-point lead here in overtime with the ball, trying to knock off 7-1 Herbert Hoover. Chris Kidd and Devin Collins here with you. Brad Napper burned a timeout to try and set things up here. Now if you're Hoover, how long do you wait to foul?
Probably about 15 seconds or so, because you don't want to get within 20 seconds and have to be in miracle mode. You really want to play the game out the way you want it to.
Get it over to Dalton now. 44 seconds to go in overtime. Dalton dribbles to his left. Rager has those 4 fouls. He's got to be careful. They tried to foul Workman. He got it out of his hands. Now he gets it back. They're trying to time up. What a spin move by Workman to get away. Now to Blevins. Blevins back up top to Dalton. 30 seconds left. Dalton tries to get away from Robertson, and he'll be fouled up top. Wow, what a spin move by Workman to get out of trouble.
He got out of that for sure. That would have been a big jump ball. That went Hoover's way too.
Yeah, that was a Houdini spin by him. I'm like you. I thought he was very much in danger of getting tied up.
Yep.
Robertson, that'll be just number 2 on him. But it is the double bonus, and Brody Dalton at the free throw line. Sophomore buries the first. He's got 30 points now on the night.
And Hoover's done a real good job of still staying in the game with their best player out here in overtime as well.
And again, Devin Hatfield fouled out in regulation with under a minute to go, or a little over a minute to go. And Chapmanville now looking to try and pull off this upset. Second free throw off the mark, rebounded by Herbert Hoover. 58-56 Chapmanville. Pass stolen by Dalton. He brings it up the left side in the race to the basket. Tillman and the foul. Brody Dalton has been Mr. Everything tonight and can give Chapmanville the upset that they wanted with 18 seconds to go.
He's really just took this game over towards the end. Is that 30? You got 30 now?
I believe we're at 32 now.
There we go.
This ticker for him just keeps moving. He's got over half of Chapmanville's points. I tell you what, to be a sophomore and have the type of leadership he has, I think he grew up a lot just with those seniors last year.
For sure. Especially being a starter on that team, he just knew, him and Isaiah knew that, they had to step up big with these younger guys.
Free throw rattles in and out. Hoover's got to go in a hurry, but almost lost it. As
Wait,
Smith,
what?
Yeah, Smith knocked it away and looked like it was.
No, it was off Hoover, but the ref wasn't looking.
Yeah, I agree. I thought that was off Hoover. Now they're going to confer here. Brad Napper doesn't understand why.
The ref wasn't even looking at the play. Hoover threw it right out of bounds.
Wow. What a miss there by the refereeing crew. But 15.8 seconds to go. Chapmanville still leads it by 4. So they get it in for Chapman. Then going to have to try and let him waste time here. Down to 12 seconds as Robertson crosses midcourt. Don't want to foul here. Pass hits over to Paxton. Paxton 3 on the way. No good. Rebounded by Workman. And with 4 seconds left, Chapmanville is going to pull off this upset, Devin.
Man, what a game.
I tell you what, this has been quite the swing. You saw Hoover down by 13 in the first half. They stormed all the way back. They took an 11-point lead. You thought the game was over, and this young squad, this is going to do so much for them going forward.
It was getting to that point where you thought, like, man, one more bucket, this game's over with. And then Chapmanville would just hit a couple threes as Devin knocks it down. And, they're right back in the game.
Devin Workman hits the first. He's got 12 points on the evening.
What a game.
Make it 13, and what a way to christen Devin Collins into radio, folks.
First game.
As it'll be a heave from half court. No good by Robertson, and the Chapmanville Tigers get back to 500 on the season, and they hand Herbert Hoover their second loss of the year, winning it 62-56 tonight. As they continue to show why they have been back-to-back champions. It's not just all been the talent that was here, it's about the talent that has been in place for a while and the system that's been in place for a while, and these young Tigers grew up a little bit tonight. Well, Devin and I are going to step aside for a 2-minute break, and when we come back, we'll talk a little bit more about tonight's game here from Danny Gobby Gymnasium as you are listening to and watching Tiger basketball right here on WVOW, West Virginia's premier sports radio station, and live on Video Productions.
What a game.
Accidents, illness, heart attacks, strokes. When an emergency strikes, count on Logan Regional Medical Center. We're here providing emergency care 24/7, including the higher levels of emergency heart care found in our accredited chest pain center, and our enhanced cleaning, mask requirements, and social distancing to help keep you safe. Emergency care at Logan Regional Medical Center. When minutes matter, count on us.
Community Strong. We are Thornhill Ford Lincoln, your hometown dealer located on 119 near Chapmanville. Go Thornhill and expect the best with total value, support, and savings on your next vehicle. Don't miss out. Follow us on Facebook, Instagram, and thornhillford.net.
I'm Stuart Caldwell. For more than 40 years, I and my firm have vindicated the rights of individuals hurt by defective drugs, defective chemicals, and other products. Now I'm teaming with Booth to take on the big drug companies to vindicate the rights of children born with NAS. There are significant legal proceedings that could affect you and your child's legal rights.
If you're the parent or guardian of a child who you believe was born dependent on opioids, you need to act now.
Coach Bob Huggins here at your local Little General store. As I travel this great state, it's nice to know that almost anywhere I go, there's a local Little General nearby. So the next time you're on the road, look for the Little General sign and tell them Hugs sent you.
I'm your 70-pound St. Bernard puppy, and my lack of impulse control is about to become your problem.
No, come on. I saw you eating poop earlier.
My focus is on the road, and that's saving me cash with DriveWise.
Always here for you, Thornhill GM Superstore. Expect the best. Get even more with our new Thornhill Value Plus warranty. 10 years, 150,000-mile limited powertrain warranty on most all vehicles. Get in on all the savings. Follow us on Facebook, Instagram, and ThornhillGMSuperstore.com.
We can give it to both. Welcome back, everybody. Chris Kidd and Devin Collins here with you tonight as the Chapmanville Tigers overcome an 11-point deficit in the second half and end up defeating Herbert Hoover 62-56. And again, Devin, they were down 11 in the fourth quarter. We talked about how they'd just been ice cold from the outside. We were talking about how it had been a great effort, how they had pushed them so far, this 7-1 Herbert Hoover team that really amped it up, really pushed Chapmanville aside there in the third quarter and looked like they were going to run out with it. But then all of a sudden they just catch fire. Workman hits a three, Brody hits a three, Fleming hits a three, bam, 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 and all of a sudden they're right back in it. Hatfield fouls out, and Chapmanville able to force this into overtime. I mean, just it's so incredible to see a team full of freshmen and sophomores basically be able to do what they did tonight.
I mean, and Hoover didn't help themselves, missing all the fouls. I'm sure you have the numbers there, what they shot, but
I'll need a minute.
They just missed so many foul shots towards the end, and I mean, Chapmanville capitalized. I mean, hitting big threes. I know Isaiah hit the big three, Brody hit a big three, and just got himself right back in the game. And then when Devin Hatfield fouled out, it really just took advantage.
Yeah, and normally whenever you're trying to build yourselves back up and get yourselves back into a confidence mode again. And that took a big hit against Scott the other night with that last-second three where they lost. Tonight, though, they did the opposite. They were able to close this game out where they couldn't the other night. And just sometimes whenever you're young in a program and you're trying to get your confidence about you, sometimes it's just one win like this that can change the entire mindset.
Oh, for sure. Even like way back my freshman year, we had the huge win at Logan against Scott, sectional championship game, and we won that game. Beat somebody here in regionals. I think Sissonville went to states and almost upset Polka. Yeah. And after that, we didn't stop. So a win like this could really just not just turn around for this year, but upcoming years too.
Yeah, I was going to say, you all gave me 3 straight heart attacks in those games.
Man.
Yeah, because Sissonville game, the kid had a shot that rimmed in and out at the buzzer.
That was crazy.
And then Polka nearly pulled off that 1-8 upset.
That was the craziest 3 games in a row I've ever played, ever.
But I still remember in the tunnel after that game, Drew Williamson, he was upset, visibly upset. All of you all obviously were. And, Drew just said, next year we're getting back here and we're winning this. And got to the finals the next year and then ended up winning it the next year after that. But I did. The confidence just changed.
Yeah, and a lot of people after that game was like, happy we just lost by 2. But we were upset because, we had the mindset we was going to come in and knock them off.
And that's what it takes right there is just that belief. And I think a lot of teams that don't really have that confidence would have totally just given up once they go out down by 11.
For sure. And even in tonight's game, you've seen Chapmanville didn't give up.
Well, again, they end up pulling off the upset, knocking off Herbert Hoover 62-56. We'll step aside and take our final break and be back after this with our score rundown as well as our Boone Memorial Player of the Game on Video Productions as you are listening to and watching Chapmanville Tiger basketball right here on WVOW, West Virginia's premier sports radio station, and live on Video Productions.
Our world has changed a lot in a short time, but your health and safety remains our #1 priority. We have the supplies needed and processes in place to keep you safe. We've implemented visitor restrictions and we are reducing physical contact as much as possible. Patients and employees are required to wear masks for your protection and theirs. And your care team is screened daily. So don't wait to get the care that you need. Logan Regional Medical Center, always here for you.
Evans Funeral Home and Cremation Services, founded in 1975 by Riley Joe Evans, is a full-service funeral provider. And 2020 makes it 45 years of offering services that respect all faiths, personal preferences, and financial considerations. They're the only funeral home in Boone, Lincoln, and Logan with its own crematory. Contact Evans Funeral Home and Cremation Services at 304-855-3232 or visit www.evans-funeral-home.com or like Evans Funeral Home and Cremation Services on Facebook to see their updated obituary information.
Peyton, what are we doing here?
Welcome to Peytonville. Nationwide has protected everything you see in here, Brad. Every family, every business, even Mrs. Hoffman's dream of retiring to become a yoga instructor.
Oh, they have backstories.
Here, I got more to show you.
Did you know when you send or receive a text message, you take your eyes off the road for 5 seconds? At 55 miles per hour, that's like driving more than the length of a football field blindfolded. As a result, thousands of people die every year in crashes related to distracted driving. That's why we're cracking down on people who text or use their smartphones while driving. We would rather you cross the goal line alive. Law enforcement officers write tickets to save lives. Don't text and
tractor at the end of that game.
You had to throw a ball in the ocean. He'd still
No.
Here we go. Welcome back, everybody. Chris Kidd and Devin Collins with you. We can't stop talking about the game up here again. All of us just chit-chatting about it. I mean, again, it was just such a phenomenal comeback and such a well-fought game. It's hard to put that one in the back pocket just yet. But again, Chris Kidd and Devin Collins here with you. So let's run through our final scoring on both sides, starting with Herbert Hoover. They were led by Dylan Paxton with 13 points tonight. Devin Hatfield with 12 points. Then you have Trevor Rager with 8 points. Trey Chapman with 7 points. Eli Robertson with 7 points. Frank Early with 5 points, and Levi Paxton with 1 point. And I tell you what, we go back to the keys of the game at the beginning of this broadcast, Devin. You said it. You pointed it out that they really needed to find a way to bottle up Devin Hatfield. Again, he had 29 points against Nicholas County and against Winfield. 58 points in his last 2 games. He got out very quickly with 8 points tonight. Chapmanville had him to 4 points the rest of the game.
Yeah, I mean, a couple of them were foul shots. I mean, I think he had one more bucket there in the second half, maybe.
Yeah. And, well, he had no field goals after the first quarter.
No field goals, all foul shots.
That's crazy.
Well, I mean, they just did a great job. Devin did a great job of staying on him. And even when he got around Devin, help side was always there. He didn't get any free looks.
Yeah, and actually, I should say 77 points in his last 3 games. I mean, he's just been an all-out assault.
That's nuts.
But this Chapmanville defense really stepped it up tonight on that end. And then you look on the other side for Chapmanville. They were led by Brody Dalton with 32 points on the evening, career high for him. Then you had Devin Workman with 13 points, followed by Isaiah Fleming with 8 points, Zion Blevins with 5 points, Isaiah Smith with 2 points, and Colton Craddock with 2 points on the evening. And the big stat of the evening that we're going to walk away from here, Devin, is this. Chapmanville 15 of 24 from the free throw line. Herbert Hoover 17 of 32.
I mean, 15 and 24 is nowhere near good, but it is much better than 17 and 32. And, I mean, all of them misses like late in the second half into overtime. They just couldn't buy a foul shot. And I said, that's what we said about midway through the third when the foul trouble was getting up there. The team makes foul shots win the game.
And I'm just looking at it. In the fourth quarter and overtime, Chapmanville only missed 4 of their free throws. Fourth quarter and overtime for Herbert Hoover, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 misses in the fourth quarter.
That's the game right there.
Yeah, absolutely. So, like I said, you know that Hoover's going to be kind of kicking themselves on the way back up to Clendenin today. But, you know, they've got a great ball club, and they're going to be heard from, I think, at the end of this month. And I wouldn't be shocked at all you see them at Charleston.
Oh, for sure. I mean, the way they play, I mean, even Devin Hatfield, you know, had a rough second half, you know, getting guarded well. If he gets going, they're going to be a very tough team to beat, and especially the other guys struggled a little bit. And they had a very good game inside, too. Early had a great game.
Yeah.
Great game.
And they'll host Midland Trail on Tuesday, so they'll have a quick bounce back after that. But now, since 2007, they are 4-19 against Chapmanville, and Chapmanville won the only meeting last year, 98-51. Chapmanville's now won 7 in a row against Herbert Hoover and 10 of the last 11. And the last time Hoover beat Chapmanville was in 2015, so you know that that's going to be something else that kind of sticks in their craw.
Yep, for sure.
Well, on the other end, though, with Chapmanville, again, this is going to be a big boost for them. They are at Wyoming East on Tuesday. Won against them earlier this season by 1 point. This is a Chapmanville club now. I think you're going to see go in there with a lot of confidence, and this could be exactly what they need to build that momentum going to tournament time.
I mean, today's win is just huge, especially close to tournament time. You know, they got a few more games here left, and then hopefully they keep that momentum rolling in the next couple of weeks, you know, in the Logan game, straight into tournament time.
Well, now it's time for our Boone Memorial Player of the Game here on Video Productions. And tonight we're going to give it to 2 players. Again, you got Brody Dalton, obviously, with 32 points on the evening, but also Devin Workman. Again, had at least 5-6 steals, had the putback at the end that sent this to overtime as well. And I mean, just for the fact those 2 sophomores to step up in those clutch moments right there, Devin, is just a tremendous thing to see, not just for tonight, but going forward for this Chapmanville program.
I mean, that's what I was saying earlier. Usually when a game-winning shot goes up, everybody stands and looks. And, you know, everybody on the court was standing and looking besides Devin. He just ran in and got the last-second tip in, you know, sent it straight into overtime.
Well, those are your Boone Memorial Players of the Game tonight, Brody Dalton and Devin Workman, as Chapmanville wins at 62-56. And Devin Collins, it was wonderful getting to work with you tonight.
Hey, we're going to be back for sure.
I was going to say, man, I'd love to have you back anytime. Again, Jay and them at the station, they might be firing Nathan Bush as we speak. You know?
I know the Chapmanville fans want me back since we're undefeated now.
Yeah, I was going to say, right there, we got ourselves a horseshoe over here. I don't know.
Hey, tournament time, you know.
Nathan's going to be texting me in the next 5 seconds. Oh, but it was a lot of fun working with you, buddy. I said it was awesome getting to announce your games all those years, getting to teach you in class, and it's wonderful getting to have you up here tonight.
It's been awesome having on here. I mean, you couldn't ask for a better game either.
That's what I said, man. You brought us a great game, too. So, shoot, I'm just going to keep you up here next to me from now on.
Hey, there we go. Even if I'm not broadcasting, I'll still sit next to you.
Sounds good to me, man. It's been great working with you tonight. And you know what? It was great bringing you this ball game tonight. Again, Chapmanville able to upset Herbert Hoover 62-56 to move to 5-5 on the season. And again, we'll be back for more basketball next week on WVOW and Video Productions. But for tonight, we'll say so long. So for Caleb Kitchen back in the WVOW studios, Joe Mounts, our engineer on Video Productions, Daniel Miller, our cameraman here on Video Productions, and Devin Collins, I'm Chris Kidd saying so long tonight here from Danny Gobby Gymnasium as you have been listening to and watching Chapmanville Tiger basketball with us right here on WVOW, West Virginia's premier sports radio station, and live on Video Productions.